I'm not gonna play Exanima for the whole stream, the whole rest of the day, but I at least want to get past the Sir, or see if I die to Sir. So this might not last incredibly long, but it also could. Oh, oh yeah, I got my global experience. That usually comes up whenever you load back into the game. I think I'll want actively protect gaps. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, the game will give me quite a bit of a bump. Well, it already did give me a bump because I wasn't anywhere near finishing leveling dual wield. So now I should have dual wield. Well, we'll see. Assuming the game loads in. Okay. So let's see where we're at. So I'm dual wield now. Okay, let's go ornate, ornate, and let's have wait for me here, and I will. I want to try. Okay, I can do this. Okay, so Remise is replaced, but how does this? All right, we'll get in combat and see how it's what it's like. There should be a few more enemies. I don't know what I want in my offhand because this is not something I commonly run, but we will check it out. But if you weren't here for the last part of the stream, we have a helm of light. When you wear this helm, you are able to make out your surroundings even in complete darkness. Basically, it's the replacement. It's a replacement for your torch. This is some undead variety of such. Basically, we're just trying to find an enemy to fight. There should still be one or two left. Oh right, I could totally. Oh man, that is loud. You know, to make sure this recording. Check to see what my volume's like. But yeah, we're just looking for an enemy. Okay, this requires a key, but okay, let's not get lost. Let's not get lost. Because I didn't find the map of this area, so once we leave this area, we'll probably not come back. I could have sworn there were enemies somewhere in here left. So I remember seeing them and then deciding to retreat back to the portal. But we'll see. There might be like a nugget of lore somewhere. Ooh. Topaz. Add that to the pile. Pile of precious gemstones that don't serve any purpose except for making me feel better about myself. A nice axe. Membraces that are worse than everything else. Yeah. I really hope this run doesn't end in despair. Because it can. It can definitely end poorly. In fact, I don't know how I'll get Darren through it. Because I can definitely solo my way through and just run, but I don't know how I'm going to get Darren through the same situation. That is a that is that's something I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing, because this might be the last we see of Darren, because he might die. Enemies. Oh. Another place locked by a key. No enemies. I'll have me. Do we have a healing? Yeah, we do have a healing item. Sad. Because I don't know what I'm doing with Darren. There should be an enemy somewhere. Where are enemies? I want to see what dual wielding's like. And next floor, I am not going to be doing combat, if any. Like, much combat, if any. That's what I meant to say. I sort of skipped over my words. Enemies. It's Darren, I'm pretty sure. Alright, well, I'm not going to look for enemies where there are none. Ooh, what the hell was that? Alright, the portal. The portal sometimes makes horrifying noises. Well, here we go. And here we are on the other side. This is where the game becomes a horror game for me. Like the other 3 levels were nothing compared to this. What terrible place is this? A thunderous voice shouts, unintelligibly in my mind, as though trying to command me with wordless urgency. It's as though it wants to urge me and soothe me. I'm terrified that I may succumb to its will. The strange helmet is my only respite, but it leaves me vulnerable. There's also a constant wail of ancient, restless spirits. Has his presence been keeping them from finding peace? Sorry if I seem a bit jittery. I don't handle horror well, as you may know. And this is where the game becomes a horror game. This is this game doesn't, at least it doesn't seem to mention on Twitch that it's a horror game, but it is horrifying in the upcoming parts. But yes, now you can probably tell that our surroundings are far more ornate in nature. Oh god, is this where I think it is? It's actually a shortcut from one area to another, so we might be in hell. If this is where I think I am, I don't know. We'll see. Sorry, this is also a place that oh fuck, I'm so fucked. So I'm currently stuck between a rock and a hard place, because this is hell. Well, literal hell, metaphorical hell. See these things? They're golems, and they can spring to life at random. They're endgame enemies, and I'm okay. This is a endgame. Basically, if I were to walk on that sigil, going with 3 swords or whatever it is, I would be attacked immediately, relentlessly by these things. They have a random chance when you walk past them to wake up, from what I remember. And when you walk on those sigils, they automatically wake up. So, sorry. I jump pretty easily when it comes to this area. So I'm kind of stuck between a giant Hulk in the form of a creature called Sir. Sorry, I'm alt-tabbing just to make sure everything's recording properly. And I'm also going to. Sorry, my leg's kind of shaking. I'm gonna open up my stream so I can keep tabs. Create a dashboard. Stream manager. Yeah, I'm just opening up stream manager and on Twitch just to make sure I can see myself. Covering anything? I'm a little large, but that's okay. I'm a bit larger than real life. Okay, hardy, hard. But this area is not. Well, I'm a bit faint of heart. So this. If you scare like I do. Sorry if I pause talking. I have to listen out. Hear that thud in the distance? I'm already ready to run. Yeah, this place is far more ornate than our previous surroundings. Now I'm going to start closing doors behind me. I want to, before I start searching doors, I want to make sure I'm closed off on all sides before I start exploring. Because this area can give you a full set of pretty powerful armor. Well, I say powerful, it's heavy as hell, but let's check this door. It's the locked door. I believe you require a key for that. Well, I believe you require the key to that door to progress. Yeah, this place is very ornate. Very, very much like just damn. Like it looks like ancient. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very like. I'm gonna leave Darren in this room. This is the safe room. This is the safe room. Wait for me here, Darren. I'm gonna be using loyalty to recruit some undead here. Is this what I think it is? What's this? It's the game just not cooperating with me. On game, please. Oh yeah, mass mine turned off. Okay. So I no longer possess mass mind, or not mass mind. I no longer possess the ability to sense creatures, but I now have a zombie companion. Who I can't, unlike Darren, I can't talk to him, which is unfortunate, but he wouldn't say much anyways. This is an area that I am not familiar with at all. There's 2 things I know about this area. There's one, that there is something hidden in a toilet somewhere. I have never been so terrified. I was attacked by a huge, dreadful creature. A demon, perhaps? I tried to control it. But though its mind felt completely unguarded, it was oblivious to my intrusion. I was only able to confuse it briefly and get away. I'm defenseless against this thing. Dare not venture out again. These dead guards, perhaps I could call them into action. I don't imagine they could do much against such a monster. But the distraction might cover my escape. This is the necromancer that we're following. He conjured these undead to help him fight Sir, as he's been affectionately named. I fear I don't have long left. I've abandoned my efforts to escape death. It was foolish. And yet I have accomplished so much. I must try to send word to Thaven. He will see the importance of my work, even though he is concerned with other matters. I'll leave Thaven's pursuit be as hollow as my own. A stubborn refusal to accept better truths. That's what I've seen here. Anything seems possible. I will spend the rest of my days discovering what I can. I can still be of help. So I believe this is where our necromancer friend may have met his end. Probably beaten and broken by Sir. Based on that, but this might also be what's referring to Thaven. So I believe those two lore tidbits are associated with one another. It's not. So I'm rechecking it because I thought there would be items here, more items specifically like something I could wear, like say a piece of armor. I really need to keep an eye out because the enemy that scares me so much. Once I see him, he will be on me like a fly on shit. And I don't handle being afraid very well. So I will panic. And when I panic, it's not gonna be good. Oh god, I accidentally pressed some buttons. See, plate sabatons. I need to move my inventory once more. But yes, plate sabatons. A pair of plate sabatons. Heavy shoes, which this guy will now be wearing. I believe I will be abandoning dual wield for the time being. I will also be putting the maps in this box right here. Can I fit this in this? Can I fit this into this? Yeah, okay. But basically, I just want to clean up my inventory. You can wear these glasses. Cute. Right, can this go into this? Basically, I'm just trying to do some inventory management. Move the shit that I've been collecting out of the way. Put these no longer useful keys in this box. That is significantly cleaned up my inventory. And of course, the torch can't fit. And everything else, I put the compass in a box in my inventory. Now, so that's far better than what my inventory looked like previously. But yes, my usual method of defeating Sir is sorry. Yeah, if I see Sir and this guy, could you please could you please come in? Could you please? Venerable Edron, I understand that you are conflicted, but I must ask that you keep the voicing of your misgivings to within the council. You cannot hope to stop this now. You will only cause disquiet and potentially worse. Please remember the responsibility that comes with your position. Christian. Don't ask me why I sometimes give people accents. Our glorious hero is little more than a killer. Now that his deadly work is done, he cares nothing for the consequences. Murder our gods so that we may be free and lost. I will not forget who saved us from oblivion. We have been warned. Far worse is coming, and our demise is now. They're probably referring to the monsters within. Apparently, they fought God and one question mark. But yeah, just as the necromancer before me, this little undead will fuck. This undead will fuck. No, this undead will serve as a distraction for he who. That's another enemy. I'm only doing this very quickly. There's an item in one of these latrines. No. So you can look and loot the latrine. So once I noticed you could loot one of them, I looted every single one I ever found. Oh, that's just there, Jesus. Yes, sir is somewhere in these halls, and he terrifies. Oh God, there he is! There he is! There he is! See that's Sir. That's Sir. That's Sir. Is he one of those things? This is gonna be the first time I've ever gotten a good look at Sir. He's dead. Okay, I'm not gonna play around with Sir. I'm not gonna play around with Sir. I'm not gonna play around with Sir. He's definitely one of those things. There's no doubt in my mind that he's one of those things. We'll see more of his kind later. But... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Darren, no. Okay, well, we had to cut down my companion. Could you not? So, damn you, Darren. I have no idea where Sir went. I'm actually going to, just for safety's sake, just for Darren's safety, I will hide here instead. I have to figure out where Sir is. So okay, I don't think I ever mentioned it. But the way I defeated Sir my first time around was for letting him chase me into a room, and then quickly as he ran into the room, closed the door behind him. Fuck, there he is. You want to do this? You want to play games? Okay. Not working. Go away, Sir. Okay. Come on. All I need to do is get out of the room. And I can close the door behind Sir. Close the door behind him. Close the door behind him, please. There you go. That's how you do it. Fuck you. Fuck you, sir. Okay. Oh my god, I'm pretty. Oh man, it's. Oh fuck! It has been so long since I did that. Oh, oh, oh. Oh man, I need to. Damn, just actually. Uh, uh. Oh my god. Damn. Just damn. Oh shit. Uh, oh my god. Oh my god. You gonna let me open the door? You let me open the door, little buddy? You wanna see me? He's stuck in there. Oh god damn. Oh, come on. Come on, let me in. Let me in. I wanna see you. I wanna see you, little buddy. Oh, come on. Come on, just let me in. Just let me in, little buddy. Oh, you know, he's locked in. He's locked in that room. Basically the reason I can't open the door is because he's stood like the room is only this big, give or take, and he's standing right next to the door. Oh, oh my god. Oh, I need to rename the stream after that. Oh my god. Yeah. Damn. If I can breathe a little more calmly. God. Come on, sir. You don't want to let your friend in? You don't want to let your friend in? I wish I could at least see him. I wish I could like open the door enough to see him. He's stuck in this room. He won't let me. Like I just wanted to get a good look at him. I wish I could talk to him, but yeah, he's in there. He's in there. Look at that! Look at that big brain. Yeah, he's immune. His yeah, you can't do anything. No. But look how tall he is in comparison to my character. Look at the height difference between my character's head and his head. This is his brain. This is his. I'm honestly surprised that his brain is that big, considering he's currently trapped in a fucking bathroom. Oh shit. Hey Darren, follow me, little buddy. I wonder if I could. I wonder if I can get him to see. Oh. Yeah, Darren can't even see into the room. Well, he can't sense that Sir is like right on the other side. Oh, like I can't. Damn, Sir. Come on, man. Just let me just wander around the room. I don't think he's supposed to. I think he rarely passes the bathrooms in this game. Well, I'll actually camp around him to see if I can try to get a look in that bathroom. Which might be how I die. It might be. I'm just gonna hover on the bathroom. Oh my god. People are gonna come in and it's like, what do you mean you trapped Sir? It's like, yeah, I trapped Sir. Like, it's not a feat that it's not like an amazing feat, but it's pretty amazing. It's okay. This is one of the weapons that are in this area. I will actually pick it up because blunt weapons are pretty useful against heavily armored enemies. But I still can't get over that. I still can't. He's in there. I can guarantee you that he's in there. He's in there. Sorry if I sound a bit like I'm going insane, but like holy shit. Oh god. I've only done this once before, by the way. Every other time I've gone down here, I've kited. I've just run past him. It makes so what we were talking about before last session or last time I was streaming, which was like about 5 hours ago now, is that Sir is one of the monsters that we were discussing, and the reason that I think that thaumaturgy doesn't work against Sir, specifically this form of thaumaturgy, I can't remember what it's called, but this is, I believe it's more in terms of control over the soul than just the mind. I believe it controls the mind and the body through the soul. So this creature might have a mind, but it has no soul, so it can't control it. That's what I believe. That's how I believe it works. Now, obviously, that might not be true. Literally, all I'm doing is trying to get Darren a peek. I just want Darren to see him and react to him once. That's all. That's the only reason I'm camping around the door. It's because I want to be let in just a smidge. Honestly, you know what's funny? I'm surprised I managed to close the door. Usually I trap him in one of the big rooms. But yeah, and just to mention, like, he fell over. Like, me and him were kind of like stuck together for a moment there, and then I got launched out, but in me pushing my way out, he fell over. Like, he's heavy, but he's not so heavy to prevent your character from, like, because the game's kind of designed so, like, if you get trapped, you will eventually wiggle away. You will eventually, like, your character will eventually force their way out, regardless of whatever's keeping them down. Like, they will continue to apply force to get up. So, as long as something isn't wedging you down, it will eventually give in to the force pushing it away. It's, more force will be pushing on Sir than is, being pushed down on me. Man, I love this. I love just all of this. Oh, I shouldn't have used the bathroom. That's the funny thing, is I shouldn't have used the bathroom at all. I should really be doing something else, but like, holy shit. Oh my god. Just, oh, damn. Just absolutely amazing, honestly. Oh, sorry if I keep on tabbing. I'm just. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I think Sir saw me through the crack. He isn't normally supposed to get stuck like this. I want to keep trying to push it over. Oh, it's a concert. Come on. Like, all he has to do. The funny thing is, all he has to do to like have a chance to get out is let me open the door. Like, if he wanted to, I could let him out. Well, I mean, by accident. I wouldn't actually want to let him out. Let's see what it does when I walk away. Let's give Sir a little bit of breathing room. He's a big guy in the tiny room. Let's give him a chance to give him a chance to stew in that room. Maybe he'll shift around a bit. But yeah, this it's an opportunity I will use to control this undead. See, this is the cool thing, is that you can then take the undead stuff and just put it on the floor. Just okay. You want to see a funny little trick I do? This is how you instantly kill any creature. It's now a skeleton trying to punch me. Okay, could you not shove me? But like, look at this guy. Look at this, look at this, look at this fucking skeleton. Look at him trying to fight Darren, with just fisticuffs. I should probably help him though. But yeah, basically, once you get thaumaturgy up to a certain level, you can do whatever. Hey, how you doing? Oh. He's still kicking. He's still trying to kick. Oh, okay. Darren hit me. Darren hit me on the backswing. Not do that, Darren. I'm pretty beat up, but I think I need to take a little bit more damage before I heal. But now we have access to brass equipment. Okay, I can't wear that. Darren can wear it though. Two-handed great sword, or two-handed sword. Yeah, this one is a lot. This one's a lot. I mean, yeah, I can't wear it. Okay, let's. Oh yeah, I need to talk to Darren about his equipment. Darren, take this. Or no, this is my old one, isn't it? Okay, he's wearing the middle one. Darren, you take this helmet. Now it will encumber us, but that's the thing. I don't have a choice in the matter. Darren, do you want? You hold on to this sword. You hold on, and I'll hold on to this sword. You can also hold on to the flip. Basically, I'm just inventory managing. Yeah, I don't need to carry this random stuff anymore. Holders. Yeah, there we go. So this stuff is pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. Oof. Oof. Oh man. Sorry, I'm still high off that fight. Also, I'm kind of waiting for my my focus to return. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Like, I was like, this is how I died, 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 like, in my head. Because what I was doing is a very good way to get yourself killed. Let's close this door. So I don't want to fight the next undead I want, or next undead I find. I want to mind control them. The funny thing is, I actually got pretty late in the game without ever knowing that you can mind control things like that. Like I never knew that thaumaturgy even existed for a long while. But now I can fully explore this area. Like I can fully explore this level. I sworn there was an enemy in here earlier. Oh, it walked out. It walked out of the room. Okay, I was like actually, where the hell is it? Hey, there's more spell. There's you can see right here. There's another spell over here, and there's a spell that allows you to do quite, let's just say, interesting things. I don't want to spoil it because we've already spoiled quite a bit about the game. Sorry, I need to. For a second there, I forgot Sir was in a closet. I believe this is the one that I'm looking for. This latrine should have what I desire. No, it doesn't. Okay, one of the latrines has an item that I desire. Quite hotly desire. Highly desire, I should say. Sorry. Oh, Sir's got my heart pounding. We should have enough to. Basically, I'm just gonna mind control Undead and take their shit. Okay, this is plate leggings. Now, this stuff is extremely heavy, obviously. And I'll keep this around because I might end up with something else. So I'll eventually want to not be in heavy plate armor. I'll eventually find stuff that's lighter and better. Maybe not as good, but you definitely want to equip yourself as best as possible. As light and as well armored as possible is how you want to go. Sorry, Darren just scared the shit out of me because I heard a second pair of footprints and I'm like, oh right, yeah. Dude stands right next to me and I don't even acknowledge the fact that he's walking beside me. Oh, there should be another like dead around here, but I guess he must have really decided to go away. But yeah, I've explored very little of this area because you've seen that thing. Unlike me, you people watching the VOD after the fact can like pause. You could pause and you can see that bastard in all his glory. I had to put in the work. Oh god. I had to trap that bastard in a room. And I wouldn't recommend trying them because that would be a good way to get yourself killed. But plus, this is a permadeath run. This is if I die, there's no safety net. Like I was mentioning about like safe rooms. I don't have access to those. Okay, this is the next area. This is for 5, which is like the courtyard. Sort of area. This is where the game begins to open up again. Or opens up for like the first time in a big way. But I'm immediately going to load in this area and then walk out, assuming that the game doesn't crash on me. Come on, game. So yeah, looks like a courtyard. And it is a courtyard. There's undead everywhere. But this is the part of the game that I'm most familiar with because I would frequently. Sorry, I'm picking dirt out of my keyboard, which I shouldn't even try because it's just so filth encrusted. Trapping Sir is just it's risky. But now I have the full sorry. I'm working myself up way too much. But I have full access to this entire area. Like aside from a few undead, there's no enemies in this area besides Sir. Because usually he chases you down. But once I grab deflection, I will begin to move towards more. Yeah, I'll leave the skeleton with his equipment because the best way to deal with this sort of stuff. How much are we here? It's basically to send in undead to do your bidding. Basically, that's how it's done. At least. At least for me, late game is basically just summoning undead, or not summoning undead, but mind controlling undead, taking out their equipment, and then bludgeoning them to death. So I can, like here, I can take his equipment and put it on the floor. And yes, I don't have to do it like this. I don't have to kill him at all. There's also the alternative of oh, okay, don't knock. Don't. Okay. Also be careful. Like they can't do permanent health damage, but they can still like knock me unconscious, which is what just happened. I believe that also does damage, being knocked unconscious. But that's super sad that I lost that. But somehow beat Sir. Yes, now I will put my big ass pole on. Come on, wiggle, wiggle. Darren, I need you, little. What the irony of me dying here would just be super high after trapping Sir and then being like, oh, I'm the best. But yeah, there's a way to deal with this undead, which is literally just to mind control them again. Yes, I took a lot of unfortunate damage. That's what the healing item's for. But yeah, let's get my sword. Okay, but I just wanted to give you an example of how I would do it. But let's put this very damaged skeleton to work. Because that's the thing, is that you don't have to do it like I did. So you can also do it this way, which is to equip them and have them fight for you. Which, god damn, I should have been more careful. It's usually how I do it. Is my control don't have me do anything. And it was more for demonstration purposes, and why you should never underestimate your opponent, is they'll kill you still. And I wasted a healing item on it. But you know what can you do? But yeah, basically you get into combat and you run. You get two NPCs to start fighting each other, and then you back away. Because basically, and now I can do this, and basically, okay, what? Apparently my mind control is not ending. There we go. They're still fighting. See, I ended the mind control on him, so he will no longer come back to me. He will no longer try to path his way to me. Now they're engaged in full-on warfare. Now I damaged the skeleton, so this skeleton should win. See? So I gotta be super careful I don't die here. But there we go. He down like a sack of bricks. This is where I look, and oh, there's a note on it. When I took this oath, I told myself my life no longer mattered. Now that courage, that sense of purpose is fading fast. I look to the others for strength, but I find the same doubt in their eyes. They mocked us, and now I see the truth of it. This is senseless. So yeah, this would take off my. I'll keep it. I'll hold on to it. Yes, these are not too different. I will pick it up. But that's the thing. Is that in this game, there's different ways to do the same thing. Now, I underestimated the healing on him because I didn't think it would heal me this far. So I thought at most it would bring me to half, but I'm not used to using the healing items. I usually hoard them like nobody's business. Now I should be able to. Okay, so there's two sets of pauldrons. But as you may have noticed by now, there's no quality on these pieces of equipment. They're set in stone. So yeah, this for obvious reasons this is danger. Like you can look down, you can tell there's nothing down there. Just emptiness. It's a broom. Best way to put in the game. It's a joke, by the way. Don't use that as me telling you to do it. But yes. And Sir's just like I'm losing the skeletons, and Sir's just like rotting in his little corridor, or not his corridor, his little bathroom that I shot him in. Oh man, so I love this game because like there's so many ways to do anything. Like you could tackle the game in super different ways. Like you could rush, and I mean rush, to show you. So you get sense minds, calm, trust, loyalty, whereas continuity. So basically, you go continuity into this, and then you get another level of continuity or continuity, or whatever you want to pronounce it, and you're just set. Like you never need to dirty your hands with another fight ever again. So this is a full. Like yes, I'm quite portly now. I'm quite slow, but that is a small price to pay. Small price in comparison to my life. Is this the bathroom that I was thinking of? One of these latrines has an item in it. No, this is not the latrine I've been looking for. One of them though. Yes, the only reason I know this item exists is because I literally shut Sora in the room and then started looking. Like I don't mean right now. The other time I found this item is from locking Sora in, and then as my usual, I would just like click on everything. And eventually I just noticed something in the toilet. Or I noticed the fact you could loot the toilet. And I was like, okay. Are there more toilets on this level? Basically that's what went through my mind. Yeah, this is my second time having free reign on this floor, so or effectively free reign. Like I have maxed out HP right now. God, it's a nice feeling in this game to have full HP, but it's even nicer to be full HP and have your healing items still. That's the problem, is that if I want to, like, if I was aiming for endgame, like if I was trying to complete the game as it currently is, I would definitely have done different things. Okay, we found another healing item. So okay, well, it's actually, I didn't take much damage from Sir. Me, oh. Me trapping Sir in that hallway served its purpose. Yeah, so you want to know what I normally do? Is that I normally have. Oh, it's already wearing the leggings. It's already. Okay, no. No. You could carry all of my previous gear. But basically, I would get one of these guys. Like the first time I got loyalty, I was in like a world of my own. I started literally just like cowardicing my way through everything. There's certain enemies you can't use this against, and I had really just a lot of really bad experience. Basically, like the latest I've gotten in this game is by like the farthest I've gotten. Like it was built on the back of these guys. Is that I would basically be careful to not kill too many undead. Basically, I would kill them, or I would shut them in. Like I would close them in. I would find places to hide them and then come back for them. And basically, I would come in waves. I would bring like 3 of these guys and throw them at somebody, and I would be like, okay, I assume that they take permanent health damage, and then I come back, get another set of 3, and then throw them in. It was quite fun. I enjoyed playing like that, but it was definitely the coward way. The Sin keep a watchful eye over the scribes and archivists, especially the archivists. There have been many reports of things being taken and hidden away. It must be thorough. You mean like you mean like hiding healing items? Let me just checking the screen. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Bracelet. A wide bracelet that clamps tightly about the wrist. You feel like wear a strange tingle will burn. So you might be wondering to yourself, but what does it do? Last time I had it, it heals you when you're low. But I don't think it restores max HP. I think it restores current HP. Which doesn't make it great, but it can also help you avoid being knocked unconscious, which, as we saw with the skeleton, takes away your max HP. Do not be knocked unconscious. Before being knocked unconscious was a thing, you would just die anyway. So it still penalizes you for being knocked unconscious. Oof. Yeah, these honeycomb things definitely aren't my style. Don't ask me why I did that. I did that just because I could. And that's the thing about a lot of games, is that sometimes I like to do things just because I can. I like to screw around. Which now I'm like super conscious of it because, you know, people can see me now. That's something I still need to get used to, is that people can see what I'm doing. Yeah. So it's here for future reference. But I think it might change every time because I don't remember it being in there. But that's also me being an unreliable source of information because I don't remember perfectly. Darren, where are you? Darren might be dead, by the way. I might have left him in a place that skeletons roam, and they might have killed him. Basically, I'm just cutting this guy around while my skeleton does all the work. Because now we're starting to have people that are actual fighters. Basically, to explain this game in a nutshell, in the story mode, there are tiers of enemies. And in the beginning, you're fighting undead. Basically, there's ranks of undead. There's your weakest undead. People who are weak in life are weak in death. But people who are strong in life are stronger in death than people who are not. So, say the proctor that we faced earlier. The person that dropped... Where is it? Sorry, I'm just checking on my... There we go, there it is. A seal carrier by proctors representing the law of Arden. So, these are The person that I got this from, if you may recall, was quite difficult to face. Not incredibly strong. What? I was about to say. Not incredibly strong, but still significantly more powerful than the other. And then these skeletons, these were trained soldiers. They died in the armor that they lived in. I think, anyways. But they are proper soldiers. Sorry, I'm getting turned around. I don't know where I am anymore because I'm not used to this floor. But they're stronger. They're probably stronger in death than they were in life, because now they're a lot hardier as skeletons. Let's find our way back to Darren. But basically, the people on the first and second floor, and some of the third floor, is just weak enemies. 2.5 has some skeletons, which are still very likely to just be undead. Also, is this an enemy? All right, well, let's not think about that. I'd love if Darren realized that I have a skeleton following me, but he just ignores it. He just plays along. But you have to be careful. Don't walk too fast. You want them to be used to each other. Basically they're children. They're uncontrollable agents of chaos. See, they're walking together. They're holding hands. They're holding hands. You gotta be careful, because they will fight each other if you're not careful. They're suspicious of each other. Very suspicious, because obviously, why wouldn't they be? I'm suspicious of them. Yes, we want to be very slow, methodical, and make sure they get used to each other before we get into combat. It is very much like if I triggered combat, I become a little bit scared. Like it's very, I don't know how to explain it better than the fact that when they engage combat mode, they were very likely to kill each other rather than helping me. So I have to kind of nurture their bond with one another, which is a real mechanic in this game. You can definitely train two characters to see they're fighting, see they're fighting. And now they're gonna hurt me and each other in the process. I can actually okay, I should be able to, if I'm careful, just I want to try to open this guy's inventory. I want to take away his weapon. So okay. So just gonna make the skeleton naked, and hope that Darren can handle the fist fighting skeleton. Oh god. Okay, so I am once more going to attempt to disarm this skeleton. I really hope Darren doesn't die. I'm going to disarm the skeleton entirely. Darren, buddy, you alive? See, this is the problem with trying to get these guys. They don't work together. Skeletons are the worst, because they are very hostile to other beings. Oh god, I'm so sorry, Darren. I didn't mean to do that. You just killed my Darren. You just killed my Darren, you bastard. Darren, buddy. Oh, he's third. He's getting up. He's getting up. He's okay. Holy shit. Okay, he's not doing well. He's not okay. So I'll heal him. Now, that might be a waste of a healing item, but I like Darren. Darren has been good to me. So that's the risk inherent. But as you can see, it is very effective to disarm enemies in this game. You can very much get away with a lot of shit by just mind controlling them and having like you take everything off. Now, oh god, damn it! You kindly, 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 kindly be mind controlled. Please calm yourself. I gotta. Sorry, Problem is, me and Darren are too close together, so we risk hitting each other. How you doing? Not good, but you can still keep going. I'm gonna fully deck out Darren in middle. In brass armor. That's what it's called, right? Helmet. A plate cure is made of a strange brassy material. Yeah, we'll definitely be on the lookout for his full set. You can usually end up with 1 or 2 full sets, and we're currently at 1 full. Well, one. Yeah, we have 1 full set between us. I will remove these from his inventory and put one of the brass implements in. Brass, two-headed. Nice. Two-headed? Is it even two-headed? How you doing? How you doing now? How you doing? Okay, he's about 70%. Give or take. I don't know his HP at all, frankly. Boy. But yeah, Darren's quite good. He's very potent, and later in the game, can you do it right now? I believe at some point in the game, I don't know when, he'll be able to dual wield. I don't want to dual wield, but I will definitely. Oh god. Now I gotta be careful because this is a late game area. This is assuming that you get past Sir, and you guys saw Sir. But yeah, this. I don't know if this is the same entrance as the other place, but I don't know if I've looped back all the way around to find where the 4th floor is. I believe there's. Oh. What? Let's make sure he has his wooden shield back on. Like, look how much metal he's wearing, and look how little it affects him. He's only an encumbrance 3, and he's wearing quite heavy gear. He probably has multiple levels of maneuvering and armor. Unlike me, I only have 1. So Darren really changes based on how you equip him, and he's currently in a very good state. This is where the game begins to become very, very difficult. In fact, Darren, wait here. Now, we're to the point in the game where I have never brought Darren this far. He has always died. He's always died by this point. So, and I want to see what his reactions are to certain things. I've seen his reaction to the portal, but I've never seen his reaction like of excuse me, Sur and Beyond. Is this openable? Okay, I was about to say, like, why can't, or why wouldn't this open? This is quite far in the game, by the way. This, sorry, this part of the game is not easy, and I'm more familiar with it than my last area. What it is, I hope understandably. Look at that. Look at that. I thought that was a horse. I honestly thought I saw a horse. I thought this was a horse. This is what we were discussing before. This flesh, and it's coming from the sewers. Sorry, I'm trying to calm my nerves because this area's one that frightens me greatly. I want to find a room to place Darren in. See, now he's full. Now he's about full HP. I feel like I know where I am, and I don't like it. I think I might actually be on the wrong level, but I'm not sure. If we see a certain enemy type, well, basically, if we see something that looks like Sir, we're in the wrong place. It won't be the same as Sir. Sir is a exception to the rule. He is large, but there are smaller, similar creatures to Sir, which is why I said let's get a closer look at Sir so we can see like what these creatures the same. And he definitely looks like that fleshy, that overgrown body is. Basically, that's what they are. They're basically, imagine a zombie that it's not. It's basically flesh overtaken by flesh. Is the best way to describe it. That's what I would describe the monsters I'm talking about. But I'm very scared because I'm not entirely sure where I am right now. I think they might have changed the area. Or oh god it is, oh god it is, oh god it is, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. We're in the wrong area. We're wrong. We're totally in the wrong area. We're in level, can't remember what the level's called. But this creature is smaller than Sir, but it is still okay, well it's dead. But I was saying, like, I think we're in the wrong area, guys. And that proves it. We are not, we are in the, I don't know where we are. Darren, you okay, little buddy? I have one of us is doing good, because I don't handle this area well. Yeah, these creatures are part human. Were part human, but now they're overgrown by whatever this is supposed to be. Just look at this. Sorry, Oh, I don't handle this area well, so I just look at the detail on these things. They're 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 strong. They're strong, but they're not as strong as some of the things I've faced. Not in this area, but like there are stronger, more powerful things out there. How did I end up here though? How do I get out? Ugh. See, like they sprint after me. Like I mean, they're not especially fast. They can cut through your armor pretty well. We might see. Yeah, we might. Okay, we gotta be really careful. We gotta save him. Come on, fight me, you bastard. Gotta be careful. These things can get through your armor. Okay. Fight him. Yeah, he took a bit of damage. He's not too bad. But like these things, my problem with these things is that they don't provide anything. It's that I wish there was some part of their body I could dissect, like some part of their body I could retrieve and add it to my equipment. But like, holy shit! Because the tip off was these things. This fleshy shit is not normally. This is the sewers. Don't go down there. Whatever you do, do not enter the sewers. Because that is where they are. Where they all are. Okay, I really need to sense mind. These things can't be mind controlled, by the way. Okay, can you? It's locked. Of course it is. This is. I'm getting the hell out of here. There's too many of them. There's too many of them for me to handle. There are far too many. I'm just running. I don't know this area at all, and I can't go around fighting each and every one of these things. They're not undead. They are intelligent. They are too intelligent to fight right now. I don't have the healing items. I don't have the resources to fight here. Man. I remember that area was new. Or not, maybe not this area, but the area that I'm thinking of. Hey Darren, how you doing? Okay. Game? How you doing? I'm literally gonna pick up the sign and move it over. Cause like, forget that being death. This is death. Those enemies, they don't provide any loot. The only thing those things hide is progression. Progression into finding more about the game. That's all they hide. That's all they hide. And I will try. I will try to enter that area later. But not now. This area is death. Oh. Okay, there's the helm I was looking for. Obviously, I can't wear it because it would prevent me from seeing. But Darren would wear it. He's basically Darren decides his skills based on what you give him. If you give him a shield, he will train the shield up. If you give him a lot of armor, you weigh him down with armor, he will learn how to use the armor. He is very, very intelligently designed. And like the fact that he can end up wildly different depending on the run, depending on how you built him, it's kind of amazing. And now I don't know, because he might end up with skills more than I do. Like he might, where I only have like 5, 6, 7, or 8. He might have more. He might level up faster than I do and end up with more skills than I do. I don't know if he necessarily does like learn things depending on how you build him, but I think he does. I think I've heard that he does, but I don't know. Again, as I mentioned before, I'm not a reliable narrator. I don't know half the shit I talk about. But let's say he is. Let's say he does learn on his loan, so based on what you give him. That is amazing. Like, that is very good design. Sorry, this place gives me the heebie-jeebies every time. Especially because Sir is usually around stalking these areas, but... Okay, this is the key. This is the key to that one specific door, but I don't know what it holds. To be entirely honest with you, I do not. I don't know. But yeah, what you should... Sorry, I'm yawning. But what you should aim for on this level is to get you and whatever you're choosing as your companion, because you can definitely go through the game with a motley crew of undead, which is what I usually do. Because usually Darren dies. And what happens when Darren dies is that I usually sprint back up a floor and try to find an undead. Or try to find an undead to control. And I'm gonna admit it, I'm kind of lost right now. I'm very lost. And I've just circled around. But this is probably destruction wrought by... Oh, I accidentally pressed the window key. Probably destruction wrought by Sir. But I would at least, before I end the stream, because we've been at it for about an hour and a half. Well, I'm not going to end the stream. All I'm going to do is grab a bite to eat. Well, end the stream because I've been debating to myself whether or not I want to separate the VODs. Like separate the games out in the VODs, or if I want to just like upload like an 8-hour stint of me playing 5 different games. I haven't figured it out yet, but I think I primarily want to start and stop the stream based on what I'm playing. So if I switch my games out every 5 minutes, the VODs will be 5 minutes long. Because I think that's like, because otherwise people don't know what they're getting into. Like people will be like, well, because also I'm kind of lazy, so I don't want to title like, oh, I played this, this, and this. I believe we're back to our stores, yeah. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh man, that's gonna be a funny clip. That's gonna be a funny little moment of me opening the door and being like, oh, I can open this? Oh my god. Oof. Yeah, as you can tell, this game the game really opens up on this floor that it doesn't before. God, below that monster. First time I've seen this dog leg, by the way. Monster. Yeah, the game is it expands out and sprawls at this juncture. Because before we were going down through a dungeon, and now we're actually in like a civilization. We're in a civilization proper rather than like a cave system. So that's why the area is like it is now. Because we've entered into... Okay, so basically that room that I opened leads back to here. Yay. Yeah, me repeatedly opening the door to Sir. Oh my god. I just want to open off. I don't want him to see me. I want just to open the door. He's not letting me to open the door. But you guys can get like a bit of a look at him. No, let me get a look at Darren. Darren. You mind waiting for me like right here, little buddy? Darren. Darren's constantly aggroing on Sir. That's what he's called. But I was talking about the bots and how I want to set them up. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very new to this. I'm mostly just doing things based on like gut feeling. Let's get back to the game. So, yeah, level 4, which is the floor that we were just on, the one with Sir, is such a place that I only like it. It's relegated to a place that I fear, and that I spend so. My camera even see me when I sit like this? No, it can't. It can't. Actually, can it doesn't even move. Like I moved it. Actually, why don't I? Because I look like this. You can kind of see me better as my camera sort of moves away from me. Let's try to get it like this. So is it looking at me? Yeah, it's kind of adjusting. Now it's too. I don't know. But the thing about Exanima is that like there's times where you're like, oh, this isn't scary. I know what I'm doing. And then Sir pops up, and you're like, holy shit. And then you get past Sir, and then you get to at this area, which is what you're supposed to get to. I didn't even remember you could accidentally stumble upon those mutant enemies. But you can also end up in the gold area. You can stumble upon anything. Back to where I was talking about how much the game like sprawls out. You can really go anywhere. It's like it's very open. This is what I'm excited for in Sue Genesis. I've never heard this before. to anybody else, does that sound like humming? That I mean, there's nobody in chat right now, but anybody who's watching this after the fact, do you hear that? Did you? To me, it sounds like somebody's humming, and it makes me very. I'm literally pausing the game. I'm gonna pause the game, and I'm gonna go over to like this screen where I can see myself, like. And I'm like trying to move the like I'm not used to looking into a camera. I'll be straight with you. Not used to a camera. Not used to camera being on me. Not used to it at all. But I don't know what I should be looking at. But you could hear it. Like, or remember we read a note like a few minutes ago but just as we entered this area. Go back to people who can like rewind the pod and all that shit. But go back to like really early on the stream after I entered the portal. We read that note about like that voice that sounds like he's speaking to the necromancer, and you can understand that like it's been put in my head that somebody's going to try to talk to me, and I don't ever remember that sound. I don't ever remember that. Sorry if I'm screwing up my face to make noises, but like that doesn't make me comfortable at all. Like I'm actually gonna back to Exanima because I don't want a long period of the stream. Just yeah, that sounds like humming. That music sounds like humming, and it's bothering me. I don't like that mute. That sound design is fucking with me. I want another level of actually no. Bullshit. You are more resistant to mental intrusions and effects. I need that. I need that for the sanctity of my mind. And I don't mean in game. I mean in real life. I need that. I'm going to leave Darren here. Aaron, I need you away from me here. This guy is allied to me, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm just casually walking over to him. Let's see what this guy looks like underneath. He's a skeleton. He's another skeleton. Yeah, many of the enemies in this area are going to be skeletons. Any creature that isn't a skeleton, I'm stuck by the way. Any enemy that isn't a skeleton from here on out is something that's been added here. A lot of these people have been resurrected for the necromancer's gain. But some of them might have already been here. I don't believe so, but basically as this guy has ran down here, the necromancer, he's been raising everything he finds to try to combat the enemies in this area. And after the necromancer's no longer influencing these guys, they sort of go about what they used to do. I know them all over the place, but they essentially went back to doing their own thing. They went back to guarding the place, patrolling, looking for enemies, and that sort of thing. You know, they picked up the weapons that were left here, that were left mostly by themselves. You know, they put back on their armor and they started wandering the areas they used to frequent. As you can tell by their armor, many of these people were guards. I'm terrified to be entirely honest. I don't, and also I'm very confused with what I'm talking about, but mainly because I keep starting and stopping multiple like threads of like conversation. Sorry if my camera's all fucked up. I'm not gonna like. Basically, if I move my camera, sometimes when it settles, it decides to do lines basically. But it's cheap. It's $30. It's not something special. It's mostly just there because well, because I was told that like 50% of people, if they see a stream that doesn't have a webcam, they'll just move on. And like I've mentioned multiple times, I want to turn this into a job. I want to try because that's just the best. And I keep changing what I'm saying. Fuck me, I guess, but that's just the kind of person I am. I'm not a reliable narrator. I talk a lot of random shit, but I'm also not used to this. But yeah, the webcam is cheap, and it's just there because people like seeing people's faces on Twitch. Who cares? Back to one of the other things I was talking about. I think I pretty much finished what I was saying about like the undead patrolling their previous haunts, to lack of a better word. Their former, they basically go about their former lives the best they can, which the ones that function best are guards in this respect in terms of showing it, but also to go back to what I'm talking about with the other version of this game, the Su Generis or Genesis, Gen Genarius. I can't. I'm not going to pronounce it as you can probably tell. But this this area, once you get out of the dungeon, this is the area that I think of like, wow, they're doing this. Game's going to be amazing. Like, it might be perfect. It might not be flawless. It has flaws. Of course, it does. Every game has flaws, but this is going to be just crazy, crazy fun. It's very well made. Like the way that areas sprawl in Exanima gives me a lot of hope for the next game, which they're developing in tandem as we speak. Basically, we have an enemy on our hands. Please pull the lead out of your ass. This is the problem with your companions. Is sometimes they will, like, because this guy recognizes this guy, they won't fight each other. Basically, I'm trying to get this. See, basically, because he's standing close to him with his weapon drawn, this guy starts to be like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you so close to me?" But yeah, it'll take a while before they both aggro on each other. Once they both aggro on each other, I'm actually going to close them in. Oh, I think he's dead. When enemies drop their weapons, it means they're dead. But it gives you. It's just amazing. That's all I can say. It's all I can say. All I can really damn say. Like, the game is so intricate. Like, it's well designed. It's well thought out. It's, and as the developers described it themselves, as the guy who was talking to me earlier was saying in chat, like, everything in the game isn't some sort of like excuse for plot. Everything happened for a reason. The reason that we're here right now is for a reason. We're not just here because of plot. The main character isn't doing this just for shits and giggles. There's a reason for why we're doing this. There's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why this guy's here. The reason that these people are back from the dead. There's a reason. All of it has a reason. The necromancer didn't go around raising the dead because he wanted an army of the undead. He had a reason. He wanted more than just an army. He wanted whatever it was he wanted. He wanted to learn about this world, this like ancient, like lost world, essentially, like a world that is part of our world, but also separate. that can only be reached by a portal. Everything has everything is part of a puzzle, and it feels so nice. Like, yes, the combat. You look at the combat. The combat's clunky as hell, but that's the combat they wanted to have in the game. Like, I like it. I like the combat. It's the type of combat that you can never be a master at. It's the type of combat that you never know what's gonna happen. When you fight somebody, you don't know what's gonna fucking happen. And I hope they never change it. I hope it stays the exact same. Well, I mean, I hope they make it better, but I don't want them to make it simpler. I don't want them to simplify the combat. I want them to keep it as intricate as it currently is. Maybe tighten it up a bit, make it so things flow better. That your character has a certain, like, your character reacts to your movements naturally and in a way that it's as if he's used to fighting, rather than sort of like a, like, very robotic reaction to your cursor move, or basically, like, to explain what I'm talking about is basically like, there's times where your character will just over the course of walking around in combat, he can triple, like, and that's okay. But like, there's certain like minute flaws. Like, I don't want them to take the game in another direction. I want them to keep the same direction and just fix it. Like, just like, it's already a diamond. All you gotta do is polish it up. All you gotta do is, get rid of the, like, dust and shit off of it. Like, it's amazing. It's already so well done. And I'll speak a little bit more before I do this, and then I'll read it and I'll continue speaking. But like, like, the fact that you can, and the reason I got on this topic is the fact that you can run into a late game area, like the thing with the golems, that spring to life, and obviously you didn't see that. I saw that because I wasn't going to start a fight with them. I don't know how to fight them. To be entirely honest, I sent, just like the Necromancer before me, I used and abused my magical prowess to overcome the golems. I used however many undead I could source and threw them on at the golems in waves. That's how I did it. But the fact that you can walk into them, and I don't know when they changed it. I don't know if it's always been there, or I just haven't explored the floor that contains Sir, the fourth floor. I might not have checked that area through. I don't know how long that portal's been there, but it's just amazing. The fact you can run into the golems, you could run into. Let me just make sure I can see my. Just make sure my camera's. Let me adjust it around, see if it wants to cooperate. There we go. And then it moves because it's a piece of shit. And I get a new one. Well, I say get a new one. I can't get a new one. With what money? With what fucking money? What money am I talking about? I can get new shit. God, I just wish it wouldn't move after I placed it. I wish I could place it and then not have it move. Can you like not? Can you not? Come on. Sorry. I shouldn't have been playing with the camera. As long as it's all on me, it shouldn't matter. Also gotta be careful I don't drop it. Wait, yeah, there's lines. Fuck it. I don't care. But essentially, like, the fact that you can run into the golems, you can run into the corrupted, for lack of a better word. The fact that you can run into all of those and Sir off of the same area. Like, you saw me. I was like, oh, I'll run in the golem area. I know this place. And then I was like, we moved on. And then I was like, Well, this doesn't seem like the area I was thinking about. This doesn't seem like the floor after sort of like the natural progression after sort of like the easy area after the hard area. Which is what this is in comparison. It was hard, like literally an area that I die in like 9 times out of 10. There's an area with monsters I don't regularly face. I've never 1v1 them like in my memory. I'm shit scared of them. They are creepy. They're not like the undead at all. They have no moral compass. They don't think. They just kill. That's well. It's not that I have a problem with that. It's that it's not what I've been trained up to do. I have been conditioned by the game to behave in a certain manner, to basically pick my fights. And then that part of the game comes up, and you're like, you can't pick your fights. You either run or you stay and fight. You don't have the option of trying to circumvent and like get them to like whatchamacallit. Uh Sorry, somebody was messaging me. But whatchamacallit. Sorry, I'm fried. Um Sorry, somebody messaged me and then I read it and then like my brain's trying to think of a reply to them at the same time, but oh yeah, you could tell that the oh yeah, okay, sorry, I remember right. So like it's not the same. It changes the game changes when you enter those areas. You're now it, there's no like acting like you can't use your magic on them, which is something that you first instead of using magic you sort of try to just circumvent. You just try to like calmly walk around them. They'll just attack you. Try to use magic on them. That's the second thing you learn how to do. You try to use magic on it, doesn't work. Best you can do is confuse them. Like best you can do is mess with their head. You can't control them. You can just mess with them. I don't know what magic works on them, but I think some do. But nothing continuous. You can possibly confuse them, possibly enrage them. I think those are the two things that really work on them. Everything else doesn't work. So you do that, and then you know it just gets harder. And then the game, well, in its current state, I believe it ends. Like there's no real. I mean, like you could kill everything in the game, and I don't think there's a quote unquote end right now. That silly nurse touches everything. She accidentally opened my secret study. All I could think to do is send her away in a hurry. I think she may have gotten entirely the wrong idea. So there's a secret area somewhere. Which I'll be honest. Makes me want to touch everything. Don't mind me as I become your nurse and just touch all your shit. I believe it might be like one of these walls are fake, basically. I don't know where it is, how I'm gonna figure out what wall it is, but I'm gonna touch stuff until it works. Also, I like how he gets mad. I actually like, yeah, she's like, I mean, it's a nurse. Like, if it was a maid, the settling nurse touching everything. So, is it this room? Is it this room with the thing? Who needs the guardian when you have the great Taurus? What do I expect? To be hailed as a hero? If they knew what I attempted, they'd have my head. I don't know what I'm supposed to touch. Well, I'm gonna touch everything, basically. But yeah, like Like, this game is so amazing. Like, in terms of its depth. Like, it gives you hints, but not too much of a hint. It gives you just the right tiny hints to make you want to look at every fucking nook and cranny like some sort of demented person like me. What is he to walk into this? There's definitely like a secret passageway somewhere. It might not even be in this room. It's somewhere though. Oh, this is. I was like, who the fuck are you? You're not Darren. I'm like, all right, he's the undead that I like commanded. I don't know where the secret passageway is. I'm gonna be honest with you, not that good at finding secrets. Not my forte. There's a skeleton in this courtyard. Basically, just shut him in there. You can. He's probably got out by now, but this is like one of the two main ways to get to us. So if there's enemies galore. This is a very large area, very open, very large. Lots of. I mean, this is a full civilization as well. Like you could kind of notice before that, like when we were going down the dungeon, there was something for everybody. There was tavern. There was apothecary. There was a place to create prosthetics. There was an armory. There was everything the person could need, like in a civilization, basically. Like it was close. It was self-sufficient for the most part. This place is no different. This place has a market. This place has an armor. This place has everything that every place, or every. It has everything we've seen before. Again, I believe this is the area that. Okay, this is a locked area. I say that. I know full well it's not. Okay, this is the way to a place I don't want to be, from what I remember. This is either the Golem area. Well, there's only two places to go from here. There's the Golem area, back the way we came, which I don't count as a new area. There's and then there's the place with the corrupted, which I don't want to be there. Also, you gotta be careful in this area because there are enemies that can dual wield. I mean, I'm just trying to tie up loose ends on things that I started because I don't want to just like leave them open ended like that. Here's one of the. Is it one of the dual wielders? No, that's just a one weapon guy. Gotta be careful, I don't want to take damage. What damn that's for? And Darren to a lesser extent, but also Darren I want to keep alive. Oh my god, I got him stuck on me. I gotta be careful. Yeah, see, these guys are actually like blocking. They're dodging. They're not the undead we fought previously. They are so much better. Hmm. There's some equipment in this area that will surpass my brass armor in some ways. Not their armor, but like a tier above their armor, I will swap to. Because this is super heavy, so I'm not going to want it forever. But. Oh yeah, I'm trading fucking Volition. I don't think Volition does anything, but after I heard that humming, like, I heard it once and never again, but like it's super scary. I can't. I think it's been repeating it on the same loop, but still, it still bothers me so much. This place, there's shops in this area, not real shops, like not in terms of like we could sell like our gemstones and get money and then buy things, but I mean, like if I can remember how to path to it, we could end up. Okay, I'm gotta be careful because I'm starting to loop back on myself. Usually, you can tell by dead bodies. That's my go-to. But there's shops. There's like a place where you can get shoes. There's a place where you can get weapons. There's a place basically just the same as before. Like I mentioned. Yeah, I'm trying to, like I just said, like I was literally just saying. I want to try to go back through my mind and think of what I was talking about and finish those loose ends up. But they escaped me. I've talked about how you can end up in areas that are more things. Okay, this is the area. This is the map. This is the map. Oh, I'm not gonna pick up my pen. I've just got so much shit in my inventory. It's not worth picking up. I just check inside of them just in case there's something inside of them. Yeah, a hat. Wear it if you want. I'm not going to. This game does scare me so much. In the later portions, like this area, not scary. When you can fight undead, it's not scary. Whenever you start fighting real enemies, like non-human enemies, is when it scares the ever living people. What the fuck? Quintessence, Somnia, the Wanderer. So, okay, quintessence, I don't know the meaning of, but Somnia means sleep. Insomnia is the lack thereof. The Wanderer, I don't know. Do I get the same thing every time? Comet, Ascendancy, Perdition. These are tarot cards, by the way. The Recluse, Folly, the Tribunal. I think those are all Lips, the Scholar, Tribunal. Death, the Recluse, the Moon. They always different. Transcendence, the Scholar, Passage. Perdition, Valor, Somnia. These cards are commonly believed to give insight, guidance for the future. Some believe the diviner decides the path with the many branching roads of fate. Ever since I played Persona, I've begun to love tarot cards in all forms. Well, it got me into it, but then I started like delving deeper. Like I'm not a fan because of this. I reached out into the abyss of tarot cards because of Persona. Just to set this like okay. This is a crystal. Now you might be like, what the fuck is a crystal? These are magic fuel. I believe there's amber, blue, and green. I believe green heals you, blue is to power a certain magic item, and amber is to power a weapon, I think. Don't quote me on that. Like I always say, I'm very unreliable. I don't remember perfectly. I don't have a good memory. Memory is not my forte. Also, this is a nice hat. Memory is not my forte. Memory is never my forte. I'm a very forgetful person. I've always been forgetful. But you know, I say it. I like to say it as if it's not obvious by behavior. But I don't rely on me for memory ever. I will let you down. In the mortal words of Johnny Cash, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. But yeah, I can't be relied on for my memory at all. I don't even rely on myself for my memory. Usually I like to Google things, but as you've seen before, that I occasionally Google things in the middle of a sentence. Because that's just how it works for me. Sorry if I sometimes like and ah. Just it's basically how I usually talk. To be entirely honest. Well, it's not actually how I usually. It's how I talk when like when the words don't flow naturally. Basically, I am an awe when I don't have like a natural like when I'm not prepared. Essentially, I mean not. How do I explain it? Like, there's certain things that I can read, or there's certain things that I can like say perfectly. That there's certain sentences that just come off my tongue like. But sometimes it requires a bit more effort. Like I need to figure out what words to use. My problem is that, like I said, I remember, I don't remember all the words in the English language, or not even. I don't. I remember clusters. Like instead of remembering one word for everything, I remember clusters. Like I'm familiar with certain words and certain phrases that mean certain things more than I do others. So oftentimes I'll be looking through my memory and be like, and being like, okay, I want to say this. How do I say it? You know, I want to convey this sort of thing. How do I say it? So sometimes I'll, I'll leave off and instead of going silent, I'm an and then I will slowly piece together what I'm gonna say, and then I'll say it until I get to another gap. So you'll sometimes hear that. It's actually rare nowadays for me to and off. Because usually I don't open my mouth until I know what I'm saying. But with streaming, a little bit more difficult. But it's also that if you put yourself on the spot like that, like umming and ahhing actually really helps because you sort of like you can't just be like, I'm not sure how to say this. You kind of put yourself on the spot. It's like, go on, say what you were gonna say. Basically, it prods me to keep going rather than stopping dead in my tracks. It prods me to be like, hey, figure it out. You're putting yourself on the spot. Come on, figure it out. We can whip back on ourselves. That's why I'm an on, basically, is to try to push myself to continue speaking. And it's actually a far better habit than the alternative, which is to not say anything until you're ready to speak in the first place, which isn't how people naturally talk. Because people don't talk like to themselves. They don't talk as if they need to keep talking, regardless of whether the other person responds. Usually, you say your piece and then somebody responds, and then you say your piece and somebody responds. Usually, you're not left holding the entire fucking bag. And when people talk like this, it's skill, and it's not a skill. I mean, it's a skill I possess a bit. I can talk. I can run my mouth pretty well, as you can somewhat tell. But this is definitely not a skill that everybody possesses the ability to like just naturally flow about anything, or like it depends on the game. Like this game, I'm quite familiar with, and I enjoy it to the point where it's not like League. League is one of those games that I don't really like. League is one of those games, and yes, I'm segueing. I always segue. Just leave me be. Just let me have my moments where I just talk about whatever I feel like. but League is one of those games that I have a love and hate relationship with, and I don't feel passion when I play it. I don't feel happy when I play League, which is why I think from here on out I'll stop playing League on stream. I think from here on out I will avoid playing it on stream. I think I'll avoid playing it altogether, frankly. Just because this. I mean, I play Exanima, for example, and you can tell that I have a passion for this. Like, it really speaks to me. Like, it's not just the underdog story, because obviously everyone loves an underdog story, but it's also that it's a niche title that I and a lot of I rely on niche games in terms of not in terms of streaming, because I've been streaming for a month. Like, don't get me started on how like I don't really consider myself a streamer yet. Like, I don't see myself as like a personality on the internet. I just see myself as me trying to do something. But on to my point, which I kind of forgot. But this game, I have a spark. There's a spark. Like, I can be happy and bring that energy into me talking. Like, there's something there. And yes, I'm walking really slow just because I want to enjoy talking. Honestly, like I'm beginning to understand why people do this. Why people enjoy not even talking to themselves, but sort of talking to the future, talking to a group of people that aren't currently there but could be there. And the thing is that I don't. It's not, I don't intend to take down my YouTube channel anytime soon. Like, I'm not going to like drop a nuke. Like even if I stop streaming, even if I stop uploading, even if I stop doing all this shit, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna delete everything. So regardless of whether or not I continue this for the rest of my life, whether or not I decide that this is a viable job option, whether or not I decide to get a real job, whatever I do, so that's up to me. I can decide whatever I want. But the VODs is still going to be there, and this is still going to be a piece of myself encapsulated in time, at least until the internet is self-destructs. I'll be around, in a way, immortalized, and I'm beginning to enjoy the feeling. Basically, I'm beginning to. I don't know. I'm beginning to enter the rhythm of streaming rather than the sort of just doing it because I can sort of mentality that I've been going through. I'll drop this on the floor because I don't really need this anymore. I also don't need this key. Put it in my box of keys. But yeah, like, but that's what I was saying about League, is that League doesn't have any heart left in it for me. It's more of a game that scratches an itch and nothing more. So I think I won't play any games that I don't personally have investment in. Like Phasmophobia, I was interested in Phasmophobia as a game that I might want to play. Like, I watched people play it, and I was like, this seems fun. But I was at the same time, I was like, it's a horror game. Why would I play a horror game? Streaming is giving me an outlet for like I'm still alone. I'm still here right now. There's nobody watching me in this moment. That's fine. If there's nobody watching me in this moment, that's fine. That's what YouTube's for. I'll still be here. Like, the me that's talking right now. I don't mean the me that'll be going to sleep in an hour. I will be the me that's speaking to you right now will still be here. I am recorded forever. Like, I'm this. I'm the talking head in the computer. And you know, I wish I got into it sooner. I'm gonna say this. I was in a dark place a lot of my life, but I wish I got into this sooner because I'm beginning to enjoy it. I'm beginning to believe this would have been healthy for me to do earlier. And if I've been doing this for years, I might have been making. I always say this: it's not about the money. It's about the idea that I could make money off of this. That's why I stream. It's because it could be a job. Not it's it's not to make money. I don't need money. I I'm a frugal guy. I don't spend much money, but it would be nice to have extra, a bit of extra money to be able to pay, like, pay back my family for all they've given me. But more than anything, it's to have something to point at and say, this is something that can make money. And I've repeated this multiple times, but it stands as the testament of why I'm doing this. It's the reason I'm here. The reason I stream is because it's not a it's like a job I'm not getting paid for. It's something I can point to and say this is my job. It's not good. Also, this door is completely blocked out. This might be like a future area, but you can see it's chained. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to get this shit to open. I'm pretty sure, anyways. I'm wrong. There's like a MacGuffin that you can smack it with, but that's why reason I stream. It's the reason I stream is because it could make money, and if it could make money, that's enough for me. It's for my mental health. The reason I stream is for my mental health. And some people, funny thing is that some people say like it's a drain on your mental health, but I'm one of those people that think that streaming's good for like I I want to share. I want to encapsulate myself for people to see in the future. I want to smile for all the people that have decided that they want to see me in whatever closest natural existence, because that's what I that's, that's my brand, is that I'm a real human being that is playing video games. And if people want to support that, good. If people don't, it's fine. It's not about the viewers. It's not about anything. It's like when it comes down, like, obviously, if I had it, if if there was somebody in here right now, and they wanted me to do something, they wanted to play the game with me. They wanted to, like, not like this is a single player game. It's not really possible to play with, but they wanted to like experience it alongside me. They wanted to watch me. They want to give me tips on how to play. They want to be like, oh, could you do this? Could you try this? Would this work? What do you think of this? And in the game and out of the game. And they wanted to do that, that would be great. Like it never will be about the money. Like I could have, like I've said before, I could be the next PewDiePie. You want to know what I'd do if I was the next PewDiePie? I would still be me, but I would be a me with influence. I would be a me that had some say in some small way. Like I was talking about before, is that I would try to spotlight games like this that I have a passion for, and I like. Uh, I'm renaming the stream, by the way, to something. 'Cause I'm gonna want to remember that this stream kind of turned into this, where because I'm kind of past the threshold of like and entering into this job and realizing what it entails, realizing the skill that it involves, realizing the type of thing I should do, like, and it's now become having a personal conversation with my camera and wondering what would somebody potentially want to hear me say? What would be the next leaping off point? What do I want to say to a person that is listening, that might not be listening now, but might listen to in the future? And just trying to have that conversation. And now, I don't know, it feels weird, to put it bluntly. All this is... This is the Blue Knights tag. The Blue Knight will definitely win this fight. The Blue Knight is, from what I remember, a different AI than the others. They're stronger. But I won't see they should win. They should win, definitely. I believe they're both skeletons, though, so it might. But they're also doing the other. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting a little bit distracted by the game, but I'm not going to forget. I'm going to try my damnedest to not forget what I was talking about. Oh, this is just like a naked skeleton, basically. Oh, sorry, skeleton, or not. Well, sorry, my skeleton, basically. Okay, back to what I was talking about. Now that I can kind of relax, because the skeleton isn't going to kill me or anything. But like, I'd want to in the future if I had like even if it was just a following of like 50 people, which is what I'm currently aiming for. Even if it was only that small a following, so I want to check to see if this person's a skeleton or not. No, these are. This is an actual. I don't know. I have no idea. Well preserved body, we'll say. I just wanted to check, so it's kind of freaky that they're not a skeleton because I thought they were a skeleton, but that's besides the point. But and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to remember what I was talking about. But like, I was talking about like how I want to influence things, but I don't want to give. I mean, I'm a niche gamer. I'm somebody who plays niche games because it's not even that I like indie titles. It's that I like a very unpopular genre of video games. Well, I would say too unpopular. Like, it's not extreme. Like, it's not anything too big. But I like games like this. I like games that have a certain spice to them. The AI in this game, the way that they react, something about it sparks something in me. It's not the combat. The combat's interesting. The combat's like a fun thing to screw around with. It's not the reason I play this game. The reason I play this game is the fact that you could have wildly different experiences based on your knowledge of what you could do. When you know all of your options, you really have like you have so many ways to go about it. And I love games like that. But there's so many games out there these days that don't give you options. They don't give you a choice. They give you their way or the highway. That's one of the niches that I kind of require in the game. League of Legends is kind of lost all that spark where I'm like, oh, I want to see what I can do with this game. I want to see, like, it's completely lost any of that spark. All the game is doing what other people want you to do, being told what to do, and it's just fucking tiring. I I got sick of it a long time ago, and now I'm realizing why I quit the game is because all it is people tell you what to fucking do, and I hate being told what to do. There's nothing I hate more. If I do something, it's because I chose to do it. I never do things against my will. I would rather die than do what I didn't want to do. Not for the sake of obstinance, but in the sake of it's who I am. It's an innate part of who I am as a human being to want to choose what I want to do. And I know it doesn't necessarily require it in a game, but it's the difference between not having a choice and having a choice is so extreme. But there's some linear games that I love. But it's the thing I hate the most in the illusion of choice is when a game gives you 3 dialogue options and it doesn't give you anything. And it doesn't have to be a big lot. And you can have illusion of choice alongside real choices, and that I'm okay with. But it's when a game is full of like fake choices, where no matter what you do, you can, as long as you don't hit a fail state, you will end up at the same ending. There's nothing I hate more than that. It's like, let me do it the way that I want. Like, okay, this game, take for example, like, I could have done this any other different way. I could be wearing completely different equipment. I could not have this sword. I could not have this helmet. I could have went through the game with still using a fucking torch. I could have used the healing items in such a different way. Like there's so many decisions that I've been making this entire game, and I've resulted with a different like setup. I could have forgotten certain keys. I could have not gotten to certain rooms. I could have not gotten these healing items. So many things could have gone differently. I could have not. I could be without a compass right now. I wouldn't be able to orient myself based on this. And yes, I'm avoiding combat, but that's just because I don't want to stop talking. I don't want to be distracted because I've gotten into a flow. But that's the sort of thing I love in games, and I love being able to do the same thing in a different way. I love to be able to do builds, and not necessarily a build that's strong or a build that's good, but a build that I want to build because I enjoy the feeling of it. And it's not that I want to feel different. It's that I want to have the choice to be different. It's that there are people like me, like in terms of like how I behave and how I like the games that I like to play. But I don't play these. I don't play RPGs because I like I'm not trying to feel like I'm not trying to feel different. The reason I play niche games is because I want to be playing niche games or niche games. It's not the reason. I'm picking up these swords for Darren, by the way, just in case I want him to dual wield. But I don't do it because well, actually, I'm going to switch out my equipment for this person. The blue armor is quite good. I basically want a full set, and I believe I have gotten a full set. Yes, I will carry the Sabatons. I will drop. I will keep the chest plate. Please, game. I will. I think it's a trick. It's a trick to this. You put it on, and then you can put it in your inventory. Then I want to put this on. And then I want to keep this. Sorry. Bit of inventory management. I think I want this. I think more than anything, surface area matters for shields, but I don't think I need this sword anymore. But I don't play RPGs. I don't play games and caves and roguelikes and all that stuff because I want to be different. I want to play different games. It's because those are the games that have what I want. They're not many, to my knowledge, first-person shooters that have that same sort of niche they fill. There's not many roguelike first-person shooters that play like something like Caves and Cut. Like Borderlands. Take Borderlands for example. I don't find Borderlands to have that same sort of oomph that like turn-based RPGs have. Like it's like using the same sort of formula, you could make a game that's similar to Borderlands that I would enjoy. But I couldn't get into Borderlands because when I shoot something in the head, I don't want numbers to pop up and it not to fall down. Basically, I wanted I don't like bullet sponges. Bullet sponges feel really bad. Like they don't have that satisfying like crunch. And there's games like, but I just forgot because I was thinking of the mechanic, but not the actual game itself. There's like Metal Gear Solid, the Phantom Pain. There's enemies that have helmets. I like how I'm explaining this like it's a small game. It's not a small game at all. But there's enemies with helmets. You shoot them in the head once, the helmet comes off. And then you shoot them a second time and it actually goes through. Or they're armored in an area. You can only shoot them in a certain part, and then they take damage. And that feels nice. And like Metal Gear, I'm a person that plays a lot of RPGs, but Metal Gear, the Phantom Pain, I'll call it, Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. It feels more like a game with options than Borderlands, which is a role playing game. So like that's the sort of thing. Like, and the thing is Phantom Pain isn't. Well, Far Cry. Far Cry is a better example because it's also first person RPG. Like the third Far Cry game and the fifth are, and the second are my favorite Far Cry games. There's the one that's currently out. I never played. But fourth, I didn't get it because it seemed like it was the same formula, and then 5 had like, an interesting interesting mechanic. Sorry, I'm just air condition, well made. Sorry, we're back to the point where I have to check every piece of gear again. So, and extremely well. Okay, so these basically anything it says it's extremely well made, fairly well made, extremely well made, extremely well made, well made. Sorry, but yeah, I think this is my end game equipment. I think the blue armor is what I go with by the end of the game, from what I remember. Basically, I want extremely well made everything, and then I want to use my saved up. Where are you? Blue orbs. Here. Let me actually move this bag over here. So I want to use these 6 blue orbs to basically raise the condition to higher levels. Basically, I want to get perfect condition on all of them. And this will be my end game armor. But see, Far Cry seems like a more my favorite Far Cry games seem like so much more open ended than Borderlands at all. Like you can really tackle the game. I mean, they also fall into like the Ubisoft like problem, but like they still feel like you have a choice. Like not in terms of like the story. You might not have a choice in terms of the story. Three was the best Far Cry game by far, in my opinion. Oh, didn't get it. Far Cry 3 was the best because it legitimately, like, the character felt like they were a fish out of water that was just. It felt like you could sort of be them. That's what it felt like. It felt like yes, they were a rich kid, but basically a rich kid, but you could feel like you could sympathize with the fact that they don't belong here. This isn't their kind of scene. They're in hell, basically. They're in someplace they don't want to be, and they're forced to be here to try to escape. And then you start enjoying the game, and you're like, why would I want to leave here? Which is something the character kind of goes through, where he begins to get a rush for the adrenaline. Kind of. One way or another. And I would sooner play Far Cry 3 than any other first-person shooter that I can think of that have come out in the past, like, 5 years. Just because it feels better. Like, it fits the way that I like to play games so much better. And basically most if not all AAA games are becoming more and more linear. Like they're becoming the same shit every week. To be honest, like, gonna be honest with you, it's starting to, like, Ubisoft makes the same fucking games. They used to occasionally make an average game and then make a good game, and then make an average game and then make a good game. Like, they come out with Black Flag, great game. Then they come out with, they came out with Assassin's Creed 3, and it was meh. They came out with Black Flag, and it was like, holy shit. And then they just came out with Black Flag 2 and 3, basically. You know, all with their own shit mini game. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, all the games are just the same. And, like, why would I play this game if it's no better? If it's no, like, and Dark Souls also comes from this problem. Like, FromSoft has been making the same fucking game for years now, changing it slightly. But the thing is that FromSoft makes such good games that even when they shovel out the same shit, it's still good shit. Like, Demon's Souls and Dark Souls are the same game, but it's more of that good shit. Ubisoft comes out with a meh game, then comes out a good game, and then shovels the same. Like, they come back out using the good games skeleton to make a meh game. FromSoft 9 times out of 10, like, 2 was a meh, and they came back with 3, and it was good. Like, but the thing is that the reason that 2 was bad was because the main director wasn't part of it, for the most part. He was busy making Bloodborne. And now, at least from what I heard, they're not going to make that same mistake again. He's now the boss. He now owns, or not owns, he's currently the CEO. He leads, he's the lead on everything. Like, he basically runs the company, for lack of a better way to phrase it. And that's great, because he's the reason that their game's so good. Like, and they could really. There are there's like, I could count on one hand how many companies could shovel me the same shit day in and day out, and I'd still love the hell out of it. And that's FromSoft. Now I can't really remember all of them off the top of my head, but it's FromSoft, Sucker Punch, and a select few others. Could come out with just about anything, and I'd eat it up. I need to say I'm a fanboy for them, but like they fucking deserve it. They're awesome. Like Sucker Punch. They're the guys that they came out with Sly Cooper. And if you don't know Sly Cooper, look it up. No, um, I'll mention the names of the games for those who want to look them up, and then I will describe them. Well, except for the newest one because I don't want to spoil it. But first it came out with Sly game, and now this is like mainline games that I'm actually aware of that are like hot damn. I'm not talking about like the stuff that they did before because I didn't really experience them because this is from my generation. These are games that I actually played, not games that I'm just like talking about because you know I know that they made them. Because like I'm not talking about like was it like Kingsfield or whatever FromSoft came out before Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls was my first FromSoft game, and I didn't play anything earlier than that, except maybe some of the Armored Core games that they apparently made or helped make. Because I played one of them and didn't know what the fuck was going on. But basically, okay, there's Sly. There's the Sly trilogy, and if you tell me there's more than 3 Sly games, I will disown you. No, I'm kidding. But it came out with those 3, and you could see the depth of the changes that were made throughout the 3 games. You could tell that they were experimenting. They were like each of the games feels like a different game in the same vein, like from the same people. Like it felt like a natural progression. Each game felt different. It's not the same shit. I mean, personally, they didn't feel the same. Like they evolved, and then they came out with Infamous. Totally different games. Like, uh, and then recently they came out with Ghost of Tsushima, which kind of went back to their roots. And it was kind of funny because some of my friends are like, "What the fuck are Sucker Punch coming out with a stealth game?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you, straw man that I created in my own mind?" No, but well, somebody actually said that like they're making a completely new game. Why are they making a new game? Like, why aren't they just making more Infamous? And I'm like, you do realize that Infamous wasn't their first game. Like, and Infamous isn't even what made them popular. It was, at least personally, for me as somebody who grew up with the games, it's the Sly games, or at least that's the reason like I I'd let them shovel some shit in my mouth. Like if they started doing Ubisoft level shit, I would eat it up. I would be blissfully ignorant for at least a few games. But they've never steered me wrong. They go dark for years and years, and then they come out with a masterpiece or something that is just right up my alley. So, sorry if I'm just literally circling around on purpose, but um, it's okay. Let's start with the Sly games. So Sly 1 is kind of linear, and it's basically a hub world where you have like linear missions, and it's when you compare it to the other 2 in the series, you're like, damn. Be careful who you make fun of in high school because I didn't play the first game in the series. I played the second game first. It's where I came into the series. I just it's just the game that I bought. That's the game I looked at the box art and I was like, damn, this looks fun. I read an excerpt from the back of the box and I was like, I want this one. And then later I got the third and first game, way after the fact. Way after I played 2, because where I lived, you couldn't buy games like you had to drive an hour just to buy games. So it wasn't like a weekly trip out that we do. We weren't rich. We were relatively poor at the time. Well, we lived in a rural area, so but my parents didn't have time to drive me out to middle of what is essentially nowhere from where we live. You know, our drive is significantly out of the way. So nowadays, an hour drive is just going from one end of the city to the other. But so it's a stealth game, and the first one's kind of linear, and it has bits of combat. It's not exceptional. It's not what got me into the series. If I played the first game, I'd be like, this is fun. It has a unique system where you have lives, basically. You don't really have lives, but you have lives adjacent. Basically, it's sort of like Mario, where you can get hit a certain amount of times, and you can collect, um, basically, power ups to uh, get these lives. So you can get hit up to like 3 times, and it's supposed to be a stealth game, so it kind of makes sense for the most part that you're not supposed to get hit multiple times. You're supposed to be very careful. And it has boss fights, and it has like some great. I'm gonna pick this up because it's doing ornate. But it has some. Okay, basically the best way to describe Sly Cooper is a stealth action game that also has mini games, and that's where the bread and butter really comes into Sucker Punch. Every fucking game they've ever come out with has some sort of goddamn mini game. You've got you got Sly Cooper, and they've just got like they got rhythm games. They've got jump. They've got there's like every 5 minutes you have a new mini game to play, and some of them are hits and some of them are misses. But like a lot of them are like fun. Some of them actually made me want to tear my eyes out. But they were in every game. Like you could not avoid the mini games, and I really enjoyed the break from the action that these mini games had, where you know went from you went from stealthing around to like a turret section or like a racing mini game. I think the first one had the most racing mini games that I can remember, and that's just the first game. So it has like all these different mini games that, in my opinion, very fun. I loved them as a kid, and I can still go back. And there's certain mini games that I want to play, especially in the third game. The third game has some of my favorite mini games. It's got a mini game where you basically have to you basically have to learn the passcode. And I had a really bad memory, so oftentimes I'd fuck up the passcode, fail the mission, and have to start over. Because the entire idea was that you were supposed to know what the password is, and if you fuck up, you're not just because you had options. Like you could walk up to a guy and be like, "Oh yeah, I know the password," and then if you fail the password, he'd be like, he'd come after you, like he'd aggro to you. He'd be like you're not, you're not really the guy you're disguised as, which is what the minigame is. But so that's basically the first game in a nutshell. And most of the boss battles were in some form of minigame, which I loved. I loved that they were. I loved how each boss fight was like its own game. Like you weren't really using skills that you built up from the rest of the game. It was just sort of this new thing you had to learn, and it was very fun. Like to have the stealth broken up by the minigames. Sorry if I seem like I'm repeating myself and I don't make much sense. Uh, I'm not a good talker. But then the Sand King rolls around, which is the one that actually started with on the series. And you've got basically same formula, except instead of like a life system, like you can get a certain amount of hits, you actually have HP, which I think was a great change personally, because having 3 hits versus being able to be hit like 3 times by a strong enemy and like like 6 or 7 times by weak enemy. It felt better. It just felt so much better. But like the game really came into its own because you had this sort of ability to steal stuff. But like it felt so like I could waste hours on the pickpocket mini game where you walk up to an enemy and you just press a button and you pick a few coins out of their pocket, and then you pick another few coins out of their pocket. You follow them around, and then you pick an item out of their pocket, and you go back to your home base and you sell that item, and then you get a certain amount of money, and you use those monies to get power ups. And I just loved that loop. That's what got me into the first time I played it is that, and there's the mini games. Oh my god, like some of the mini games in the Sly franchise are things that I wish there was a game like that. And you know what? There's a mini game. There's the pirate mini game from the third game that is just the black flag. Like it's not as like polished as you. Well, I wouldn't even say I wouldn't even say it's unpolished. I think it's in fact better than Ubisoft's Black Flag. That's how good Sucker Punch is. They made they basically made dozens of games and smashed them in together. Like where you get like a AAA developer that shoves you shit. You have Sucker Punch that gives you multiple games. Like there was many games where I would literally like replay those missions for hours on end. Like uh, I would replay like in the second and first game you couldn't necessarily replay missions. I think in one you could replay missions, but in two you couldn't. And from what I remember, they were one-time gig. But there was a bug in the second game that allowed you to replay like half of a. Basically, it would be treated. Basically, you have like flags in a video game. Basically, it would flag you entering a certain area as you starting a mission, because the mission started from you entering the area. So it would flag you as starting the mission, and when you completed the mission, it would flag you to do the next mission. So basically, you can start at the midway point of a area, a act, or a world. Basically, those different like separated parts of the game. So like one part you're playing in like the fantasy version of Paris. One you're gone to like Bangladesh. Those sorts of areas. Like you're like fighting a like spice prince, like an Arabian spice prince or something. And then you go to his like max security. You go to like a max security prison, and those were the like maps. But there was like one where you're going against this sort of like Icelander, like I can't remember, but like his quest line, his area has some of my favorite mini games in it, and you can only play them once. There's like a robot fighting mini game where you take like Bentley's, which is one of the characters in the game. Bentley's like little robot, like little RC robot car or something along those lines, and you fight like somebody else's like remote control deck. And I loved it. And I was like, you mean I have to replay the entire level to play this minigame again? Or one where you're going through caves with bears in it, and for some reason I loved it. And like there's minigames like that all over the place in those games. And then I moved on to three. And three, same formula. Like mini games at the wazoo. The same improved upon game that was refined from the first two games. With the pickpocketing fee. And this time, the thing about it is that two, the reason I love two so much is because you could play as different characters. The first game, aside from mini games, but you're always like actually doing real combat with one character. But in the second game, you can choose what character to go out with. And in three, it's made even better. Why? Because every one of the three characters gained a pickpocket ability. This is the first. Okay, there's three characters. There's Sly, Bentley, and Murray. But Murray has always been my favorite. Like like the strong guy with the heart of gold who don't piss him off because he'll kick the shit out of you. That kind of character. And he couldn't you couldn't pickpocket his in. Like he was a great fight. Like you'd pick a guy up and he'd throw him into like a bunch of enemies, or you throw him into like the like quest objective. Like you throw them into like a water purification system or like a pipeline sort of thing. I can't remember, but you do that, and man, you know what I'd wait is Sly Cooper on Steam? Sly games on Steam. Are they on Steam? No, they wouldn't. Sly Cooper games on Steam. Can you get Sly? No, you can. Is there a PC version? Okay, so I'd have to emulate them. It's not like I can't, but yeah, I had to look it up. But because I might want to play them because I'd have so much fucking fun. Honestly, let me look this up. Like Cooper or Sly on Twitch. So Sly Cooper and the Thievius Records. That's the name of the first game. Yeah. It's on. No, the reason I was checking is because I wanted to see if it was on Twitch. So if I could like put the game in and be like, yeah, I'm playing this, or if I had to go like games and demos or some shit like that. So I could. I mean, I can emulate the games. Like I own. Like fuck, man, I could go over and grab my Hot Wheels um, like game case, like a CD case, and like show you guys like I could show you all my fucking PS2 games. Like I could literally go over there and like show you them all. But okay, so see that's the thing is that every character you can now play as every character and every character could steal stuff, and I really enjoyed stealing stuff from the game. I really liked shaking the shit out of enemies and having them drop their coins and then drop like a nice little trinket. Like even after the game was long over and I'd bought every upgrade, I would still like go around and start stealing shit from people just to see how much money I could make because I just enjoyed it. Or like with the pirate mini game. Like the pirate mini game was basically you go around and you light up like your cannons. You basically net your cannons and you wait for them to reload. And you could like take your ship and just like in Black Flag, you could smash your ship into theirs once they lose their sails, and you can fight. You can start doing the combat of the game, or you could just blow them out of the water. And this was Black Flag before Ubisoft even thought about it. Like it was amazing. Like Ubisoft was. I don't even know what Ubisoft. Like I don't even think they came out with like Assassin's Creed 2 yet when the Sly games were coming out. That's how long ago this shit is. Like that's I think I can't remember the timeline of these games, but like that's how much better Sucker Punch is than any other game developer really sucking their dick. But they were amazing. Like the Sly Cooper, and they come out with the Infamous. Let's go off of Sly Cooper because I might play the games to be honest, so I don't want to spoil them too much. So I think I would very much enjoy playing the game. It's been a very long time. It's been over a decade, I think, since the last time I played one. Yeah, in years, I'd be 15 or 14 rather. I'd be 14. Yeah, I think the last time I played them when I was 14. I played them way when I was like 7, 8 years old. Like that's how bad it was. Um. Oh fuck. This is gonna just be a massive VOD of me talking to myself while wandering the streets of Exanima. Just enjoying the scenery, but then you get to the Infamous games. And you've probably heard more about Infamous than you've heard of Sly Cooper. You play as somebody with superpowers. It's basically a superhero game. It came out at the same time as Prototype, and you had the choice of good or evil. And I loved it because you legitimately had choices. Like they weren't good choices sometimes. Like you weren't like, oh, I should really do this good thing. But a lot of the time it was like the good, like, and this is how a healthy choice is made. The good choice makes the game harder. A lot of the time, the good choices made your life more difficult. Like you, in one of the parts of the first game, you save somebody, or you basically go around purifying like water reservoirs on roofs, and then you move around to find that there's more all over the city, and you basically have to turn off all of the water system to prevent the sludge from being pumped in, the black sludge that the Reapers are pumping in, for one of the factions in the game. And you, in the last two valves, you have a choice. You can either threaten somebody else by shocking the ground next to them, because that's what the character's power has, is electricity. He can shoot lightning out of his hands and do all sorts of crazy shit. And the game has many games. Every one of Sucker Punch's games has many games. It's no point mentioning it. It's in every game. And so you have that. You have that choice to either threaten to kill somebody so they'll do it for you, or do it yourself and have your power permanently, not permanently, but for the rest of the mission at least, reduced. And it actually takes quite a while, even after the mission is over, for your maximum ability. Basically, you can gain lightning charge, electrical charge, and that's how you heal yourself. That's how you fight with your special abilities, rather than your just basic zap. So you have the choice to have somebody else do it for you, and that's a bad choice. That's evil, because you're a superpower. You have superpowers and they don't, and you could do it and it won't kill you. It'll kill him. He'll die. So it costs a life and makes your life easier. So you do the bad choice, and you basically continue the mission, and it's easier. Or you could choose the good option that's harder. And that's a good way to do it. Is that, and this is not necessarily how evil works. Evil and good is not normally a choice between easier and hard. But in a game where you're incentivized to do the evil choice, it's healthy. Because you're like, being good should take effort. Being easy is bad. Being good takes effort. That's the thing. But, necessarily, like, doing the right thing isn't necessarily always more challenging in terms of, like, what you need to do. It just, you have to put forth effort. And that's the only real difference. It's usually, it depends on the scenario. But, so you go around and you choose the good option, and you go around and you reduce your max power. Basically, now you can use fewer powers less often. You can't do your usual shtick of just like blowing the shit out of everything like you used to be able to. You're a bit weaker. You're significantly weaker from what I remember. You can end up with like half of your maximum power reduced, so you're at half strength. And the next part of the game is pretty difficult. You go through a corridor with a lot of enemies. A lot of them spawn just in your face. Like, the game becomes significantly more difficult force if you force yourself to do it rather than forcing somebody else to do it. Which is why I tripped up. And, that's good game design. You had a choice, and it affected your gameplay. You made a good choice. The game become hard. Games become harder, and you can continue to do that. Like, there's another part of the game where um, basically you have the choice to kill somebody because it would be the simpler choice, or you could kill somebody to get the same result. And like you've been forced to chase this guy around, and he's like killed people, and you're kind of like, should I make him pay for what he's done? Or at least I remember. I think he cost somebody else's life. He cost at least his girlfriend's life because he got in with the bad crowd. And he's run away and he's being chased. I think, well, by you at the very least. But basically, he kind of causes. He doesn't directly kill anybody, but he kind of results in their death, in a way. So you go on from there, and you have that choice. It's not you could certainly be like, comes easy. Or there's the best. There's another one where you have a choice between causing a fight with the guards or doing it all yourself. Basically, you could, from the middle of the crowd, you could like attack the guards and make them not know who did it, and make the guards fight the pedestrians. Or you could, like I said, you could run up and fight them. And after you do that, because basically people want to cross this bridge, they're in a quarantine and they want to cross this bridge. And which kind of, I'm not going to draw real world parallels, but they want to get across this bridge. So, and this is just one choice. Like, there's only one real moral choice, but then you get more choices as you move on. Or you don't really get choices, but something happens and you can react to it however you feel like. Basically, you could choose to do it yourself, or do it, or just basically sacrifice people to protect you. And regardless of what you do, they continue to try to cross the bridge after you've defeated the guards. You can end up with people being shot at through machine guns and all that. So you kind of can protect them. At least from what I remember, I believe this is how the mission worked. You could help protect them because everybody's like flooding towards the safety of the other side. So everyone's trying to get out, and everybody's going to be chewed up by like the people trying to protect them, because you just started a fight. You just incapacitated or killed some guards, and killing people is a lot easier than incapacitating them. I'll tell you that much, because you have to not only incapacitate them, so like not lethally knock them unconscious, but not also use your powers to accidentally hit them. Because that's the thing, where you can execute somebody, and it's a thing, and friendly, like, not friendly fire, but you can like accidental casualties. So that's where your main karma like penalties come from, is accidentally hurting people while you're fighting, killing people that you're fighting and all that. That's where the real choice comes in. Like that's your real conscious decision, rather than like a moral choice that you're stuck with. Like that's really like the bread and butter of the real choice in the game, is how do you deal with enemies? Do you kill all your enemies? Do you like throw them off buildings? Do you knock them unconscious? Do you like basically like electrically restrain them? Do you heal people? Do you not waste the time? you know, do you care about your con, or do you care what other people think of you? That's the real more choice of the game. Is like, do you even care? Basically, do you put forth the minimum effort to be the hero when it's just as easy to put no effort in and be the bad guy, or just do whatever you feel? And that's really what I enjoy about the game, is that you can play a middle of the road character where you don't really do either side, and the game, like, there's a choice later in the game, which I play Infamous as well, so I won't spoil the later parts of the game, but at least I hope most people have played Infamous 1, because it was a great game. But basically, you have these you can act a certain way, and you can make the choices, and you can also just, like, when the choice is out of your hands, you could do nothing. Like I was talking about that choice on the bridge, because they will continue to be shot at, and you could force yourself to move faster to try to save more people, as they're like devil may care attitude of just like, they can't kill us all sort of attitude that the civilians are in, because they're just running forward getting shot at. And you could try to save them. Basically, you could try to prevent their being shot at by bolting ahead of everybody. And this is not a multiple choice. You could do this, or you could not do this. There's no penalty to it. But like, the people will follow you as you fight, or they will continue on a lonesome. Basically, they will run into enemy fire, and it's really this moment of, like, you realize that these people really want to get out, and they even after you like agitate the police into attacking them, you're like, these people probably would have attacked the police anyways. You're like, they're just looking for an excuse to start fighting. They're looking for an excuse to attack these people and run past them. And it's sort of like, you could light the powder keg, or you could become the powder keg and explode on top of the with your electrical powers. You can do your thing. And two and Second Son sort of follow the same formula. They kind of, in my opinion, they're not as good as the first Infamous. The first Infamous was really like it. I think it suffers from not bad writing, but not as good writing. They suffer because the first game has a perfect villain. Like, he is just a mastermind. And the second game just doesn't have as good a villain. And the third game, again, doesn't have a good villain. The second and third games just don't have that oomph. They don't got that spice that the first Infamous had. And the second game has the same main character, but that's really all you have to go. Like, the really big reason that I played the second one is to continue the player character, like Cole's story, and see how he continues, see how he ends, see how his story ends. But and honestly, one didn't have great the final antagonist is what sticks in my head, and the story behind him. That's what sticks into my head when I think of the first game. Second game, that character's gone. The character, you killed him. And in the third game, you're not even the same main character. You're playing, an entirely different character. Which the Second Son has the best fighting, like the best mechanics, but the story suffers. Because the main character feels like a paper doll for you to basically dress up however you want. He feels less. Cole felt more of like his own person and more like an interesting character, despite him not having much to him. Like he felt like so much stronger of a character than I can't even remember his name. That's how forgettable the second main character is, but you know the gameplay was great. Like it was everything I wanted from the first two games, except as a new set of powers, and it felt really good. The powers in the second Son, it made up for the fact that its story kind of sucked. It just wasn't as good. It's not even that it was bad; it's that it wasn't as good. And that's Sucker Punch for you, shooting themselves in the foot because they made a game so good and made a game story so good that they couldn't follow it up. The first game wasn't followed up by the second game very well, and the third game didn't. The third game was better than the second game. I'll give it that. It was definitely better than the continuation of Cole's story. But that's just me. Like the gameplay. This is the true fact. The gameplay got better over the three games. Story got worse. Well, the two is kind of like if the story wasn't told as a continuation, it would have been worse than the second game. So, or the second game would have been worse than Second Son. So basically, it went the first game, cream of the crop, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Then the second game came out. Gameplay was better, but the story went like to like a 5 out of 10. And then the Second Son was like a 6 out of 10 for the story. For me personally, it was still pretty good, but it really lacked the I don't know. Like if you asked me who the villain of the second game was, I would be like, literally big evil guy. Big evil guy who destroy everything. That's the main bad, and that's they kind of wrote that character in the first game. Like they kind of wrote themselves into a shitty second plot, basically, because the first plot, like, okay, the story was interesting. It was definitely like, oh shit, like when you realize the twist, but it kind of the second guy's like the second villain's motivations wasn't very good. That's the problem. Is that the story as a whole is cool, but the second act of a two-act story, kind of fell flat. Like when you take it as a whole and you think of the story as a whole, like it's pretty damn cool. But when you have to play it, it feels like it could have been one game. But the gameplay, like the story could have been one game. And that's why they got a new main character. Because, they had that problem. Like, the story wasn't as good, so they wanted to start fresh. And like I said, Second Son's story was better than the second act of the first story. So they did the right move. But yeah, the gameplay in 2 and 3 just kicked it up a notch. They kicked it up a notch again. That's why I love Sucker Punch. They just keep making them better. Like where FromSoft is more of the same, like Sucker Punch tries to make the game better each and every time. Like sometimes they miss, but the thing is that Sucker Punch, like they kind of go at, like they kind of make games with a shotgun. It's hard to fuck it up. It's hard to miss. You might miss half your shot, like you might miss half your pellets in a shotgun, but you're gonna hit some points. You're gonna hit a bullseye with one of those, like, like imagine throwing 50 darts at a dartboard. You're gonna hit something. You're gonna hit the bullseye. You're not gonna. you know, there's, you know, they're great. And then they go on from Infamous to back to their stealth game with Ghost of Tsushima. And the thing about Ghost of Tsushima is that you really have a choice of what you want to do. And yeah, I kind of skipped over like the 2 and 3 of Infamous, but it was basically the same game with different story, but with some improvements and mini games. Mini games. Your superpower with moral choices, mini games. You know, Sly Cooper stealth game, mini games. It was good. And then there's so Ghost of Tsushima again, mini games. Kun to Tammy Max, chasing around foxes or whatever it was. You know, resting at hot springs, making haikus. You make fucking haikus in Ghost of Tsushima. Like, you know, there's just random stuff they enjoy, like just putting in because why not? You know, it adds a little spice. The player doesn't have to do it. They could. They could do it all. They could do none of it. They could do just the main story and forget every other side content. And you know, that's what makes them so good. They put so much effort into the game that's hard to fuck it up when you put so much effort in. You know? And I hope to learn from that. Like, I hope to be like, you know, I fuck up 10 times, but, you know, on the 11th, I hit a home run. You know, that's all you need. You only need that one home run. It doesn't matter if you fuck up 10 times. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing your best, and eventually, you're gonna do, you know, the best you can do. You know, if you keep trying your best, eventually you will do your best. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, you guys know Ghost of Tsushima. You can go play Ghost of Tsushima. You don't need me to tell you what it's like, because it's, you know, it's a very recent game. You know, that's the thing. That's also why I want to kind of stream Sly Cooper and Second Son, because those games are kind of old. So like, if you want to watch somebody play it, you gotta go back to like 10-minute YouTube videos of on YouTube of Sly Cooper. Like, you gotta like watch somebody that played it back in like 2010, 2005, 2000. You know, pour some. I want to pour some fuel on that fire. I want to, you know, remind people that Sucker Punch is where it's fucking at. You know, I want to rep my my roots. You know, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to stream emulator, and I just fucking got knocked out. I'm a fucking idiot. And you gotta be careful, because when you get knocked unconscious, we're finally talking about the video game again. This video game that I'm playing. When you get knocked out, your guy, you lose concentration on your spell. So he's now an enemy again, for obvious reasons. But yeah, I gotta be super careful, because if he suddenly appears, he could. Shit, you're not my guy, are you? No, you're someone else. You're not my fan. You're just some guy. Sorry if I made myself sound weird, but I just felt like making noises. But yeah, I went deep and then just started ranting about my favorite games. But I kind of don't want to stop playing until I finish the points I'm trying to make. But yeah, like and that's why I want to play those games, is because like I want to show you what I mean. Like I want to show, not tell. You know, I want to show you through my actions that these games are worth your attention. That Sucker Punch is worth your attention. And like I've also said, like I want people to see this game. This game has fucking effort out the yin yang. Like, look at this shit. Look at this fucking shit. Look at this fucking wall. Like, actually though, actually look at this wall. Look how much detail there is. Like, look at it. Nice. You know, like, I mean, yes, it kind of looks like shit when you look at it a little, but like, you know, like this could just be bland wall. Like the textures don't really repeat, do they? Like you look at it, you look up, you look around. It doesn't look like they just plastered this wall off. And then you look at this wall. It doesn't look. Does it? If I were to analyze it, like it doesn't look. It feels like each wall is at least slightly different. Let me try to see. Like they might use some. Sometimes they might use the same brick, but they use them interspaced differently, so you can't tell if it's repeating. Because I don't have a very discerning eye, but I'd definitely be able to tell if the pattern was repeating. Like, it's not like the identical same blocks used over and over again. You know, it seems like each one was designed properly. Like you know, they put the fucking effort in. Like there's so many different models. Like, look at this. Okay, these two swords are identical. But like, look at this. Look at this dagger. Look at this. They didn't need to put this much detail in this random dagger. Like, look at this shield. They didn't need to put this effort in. Look at these different. Look at these fucking bags. Look how like there's. And yes, this isn't much, but like look at this. Like, there's two of these bags, three of these bags, two of these bags. Like, oh fuck. Conk on the head. Look at this. This mace. They didn't need to put detail into this, but like back to the bags. Like yes, these boxes all look identical. But shut up. So that's the point I'm trying to make. But like, look how many different pouches there are. There's this pouch. There's this pouch. Also, look at this. What is the point of this? They put emeralds in the game because they wanted to. Look at the different keys. They should all be the same, identical fucking key. Like, look at this ornate dagger. They didn't need to put that effort in. This horn. They didn't need to put a horn in the game. They didn't need to put this random shit. They didn't need to put a compass in the game. They could have just had it part of the UI. They didn't. Like, they chose to do it as a conscious decision because it adds depth. They didn't need to add all these fucking random spiders in. They could have done just like every other AAA developer did and just copy and paste shit all over the place. Okay, that should be my dude again. You gotta be careful because sometimes you don't recognize yourself because you're wearing the same armor as somebody else. Yeah, you can see what I mean. Like, there's so much effort put in this game. Like, even if all these walls were identical walls, even if they were, like, you gotta look at, like, everything else in the game. You know, where some things might be the same, things are different. Look at this sword. This sword doesn't need to look like that. This sword could just be a generic sword. Like, they don't need 5 different swords. Like, they could have done less. They decided to do more because they wanted to. They wanted to put extra effort in the game, and people should like see this and be like, "This is amazing." Like, this game is different. Like, this game, it's a unique entity, and I want to support that sort of thing. I want to bring attention to this. And like, yeah, right now I have like 25 or 24, 23, or whatever the fuck many followers I have. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm small right now. So what? I could be big. If I become big, this is what I want to do with it. I want to, like, you know, I want to help, like, show people that there are games aside from the same shit that's getting shoveled out there. There are good games out there. You just gotta look for them, man. Like, there's Caves of like, yeah, they might not be for everybody, but I want to show as many people as many games as possible because Just okay. Let me tell you the truth. The reason I want to show people games is so that more games like this get created. If I was, like I said before, like you used an example, PewDiePie. If I was the next PewDiePie, if I was the next biggest shit, you know, I would want to show small ass games that I think are interesting. Because I want more small games that are interesting. I want more, and I don't mean small as in like this game isn't small by any means of the imagination. Like it's short. Well, I'd say it's short, but it's not small. It's got some fucking depth to it. It's short and sweet. It's got the right mixture of everything. It's got like let me go back to sucking video game developers' dicks right now. Let me work the shaft. I'm fucking deranged. Well, like look at these spiders. Look at these spiders. Some of them have the light turned off, and some of them don't. Like some of them have this glowing shit, and some of them are just like empty shells. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to model the spider in the first place. Like it's the attention to detail and the addition of detail that makes games like it's what makes the masterpieces. It's what separates what separates the simple game from the like how many AAA games do you think make something look this good? How many Battlefields would you say? Like they might look photorealistic, but photorealism doesn't mean shit to me. Go out, look out a fucking window if you want photorealism. Go fucking touch grass. Go tell me what the grass looks like, motherfucker. This is a video game. This is something that doesn't have to look like anything else. This can be whatever it wants to be. It's a fucking video game. Like, look at this. This shirt doesn't have to. This shirt isn't armor. This shirt isn't anything. This is just decoration. These pants, these different color. Look at these different colored pants, these different color shirts. They didn't need to be added to the game. The developers wanted to design them and put them in the game. They wanted variety. They wanted a world that felt alive. This game is more than the mechanics. This game has art. This game has, and I just randomly found this. You know, this is a game that you want to explore. This is a game you want to see every fucking inch of. This is a healing item. Why am I getting so uptight about this? Why am I getting so why am I so passionate? Because this is what I care about. You know, I want to see look at all these different pouches. Like this didn't have to exist. This didn't have to be in the game. Like what am I going to do with this? Am I going to pick it up, put it in my inventory, put them all in my inventory because I'm a fucking loot hoarder? They didn't have to exist. There didn't have to be three. These things didn't have to exist in the first place. These things didn't have to be in 3 different colors. Like, it's because they didn't ask whether they should. They just did it because they could. That's what's important. You know, they made shit look nice because they didn't have to make the combat like this. They could have made it turn-based. They could have made it so it would have been so much easier to make a turn-based video game. You know, they didn't have to make it so enemies react to you. They didn't have to make it so, you know, different weapons control differently. They didn't have to make different damage types. They didn't have to make it so my teammates get mad at each other every 5 seconds. They didn't have to make it so Darren could die. They didn't have to do any of it. They could have just done nothing. Darren, are you gonna pick back up? Am I killing my other ally for no reason? Is he dead? Damn. It's actually pretty bad. Leave him with the gear. We don't touch his gear. We pour one out for him. We put a token to his memory. We give him all this cool shit that I was gonna give him later. Damn it. We give him all the topazes I went through the effort of collecting. You know what? Fuck it. You know what? You're fucking Darren. You deserve it. You deserve it, Darren. You got me here. I'll keep the healing one, please. I was gonna give you the shield, little buddy. You want my keys? You want my pouches? I won't cover your face. That's disrespectful. Just making sure. Oh, there's another topaz. I'll put it on your body. You deserve it, little buddy. Damn. And you might be like, why are you littering all over this guy's dead body? I'm giving him all my shit. I'm giving him everything I can. Everything. I'm just giving him. He deserves everything. I won't give him my equipment, but he'll get all my good shit. He'll get. I'll give him this. I'll give him literally all the stuff I've been trying to collect this entire time. Like, you know, just pour it out on him. I'll miss you. Sorry. Should have been more careful. But yeah. But also, like, now that we piled it all up, now that we piled up all my shit, look at all this stuff I've collected. None of these things had to be scattered around the game. None of them. Game developers could have chose to just have you start with a certain set of equipment and you couldn't work your character over like a paper doll. You couldn't equip him with this random shit. You know, you had a mini map. You couldn't collect maps. You couldn't collect gems. You know. Like, there was no small task putting this stuff in the game, modeling it, putting physics on it. And, you know, the mechanics back it up. Like, it's not just a game that's good in one dimension. It's a game that's, like, it's got so much to it, and it's all good. Yes, the combat's a little fucked up. Yes, the combat's something that not everybody who plays is going to be able to deal with. But you know what? Suck it up. Get good. I finally received a reply from Thaven, and I regret that I wrote to him. We all know what we did. We all know what he's capable of. I can't trust him. If he's sending someone to me, I fear it will not be good intention. So the Necromancer did get past him. The Curlian. This is the Necromancer's thing. It is good to hear from you, my old friend. I heard of what has befallen you, but I knew you would not be so easily thwarted. I am sorry. I'm terribly sorry about Papen. I cannot imagine what a loss it is for you. I'm sending someone to help you. I know you well, and I believe you will be greatly attuned. Oh, and the things we are discovering, I find myself struggling to keep my purpose. It seems my theories were correct. There's so much more to learn. So much I would never have guessed. I cannot wait to hear what a man with your insight has uncovered. Be well, my friend. I will see you soon. Yeah. Basically, he doesn't trust that we are a good person. Which, to be honest, we're not. I like how the guy who came in earlier was like, "Yeah, I think Darren might survive," and I'm like, "Well, sorry to tell you, my dude, but yeah, he didn't make it." I I just want to bring, I want to bring eyes on the games that I have respect for. You know, I and like I was saying, if I didn't fully say it, I'm selfish. I want people to put. I want people to love independent, good independent games. Like I don't give a shit about bad independent games. They're like, I mean, yes, I kind of sound like an asshole when I say it like that, but you know, I like yes, like people have to grow, but you know, I want to bring eyes to diamonds in the rough, not rough that given enough, if you put enough money into it, you might turn it into something. I want to give light to games that actually deserve more than what they have. You know, games that I enjoy, games that I want to see flourish. And if I had the power, I'd help make that happen. And that's if this becomes a thing that I can do, that's what I'm gonna do with it. I'm not gonna play the. I mean, I might. I'm not gonna say I'm not going to. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna play occasionally some games that are big. Well, most of the games that I enjoy are niche titles because those are the types of games that I end up enjoying. Like a lot of the games that I play aren't popular. Like I don't play games because they're popular. I play them because I enjoy them. Like I didn't play Sly Cooper because it was popular. I played it because I bought it. I bought it not knowing what it was. I went into there knowing nothing, and I came out of it happy. You know, like you know, and yes, I'm continuing to run around because this area is safe, and the next area is not. Plus, I'm kind of broken up about Darren still, and I'm still talking about my ass. But that's the thing, is that you know. And yes, I'm repeating myself, and I'm just going over the same topic over and over again. I know. That's just how I talk sometimes. I'm just trying to think where I'm trying to go with this. You know, like I keep saying, I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be a fake person. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth about me, about what I want, what my goals are. You know? And these are what my goals are. You know? Things that I've said. They're my goals. They're my actual goals. They're not some fucking fabrication. I'm not some sort of character that I'm playing for money. Or for attention. I couldn't give a shit about attention. I don't give a shit about money. I give a shit about money insofar as money becoming food that I put in my mouth. Insofar as money becomes a roof I put over my head. But that's it. This is long and short of it. You know. If you want to see me, I'll be right here. Don't want to see me? Voila, there's this magical X button that's top right of your internet browser. You can just fucking click that. If you don't want me, there's a button for that. There's a button for that. It's called closing the fucking tab. It's called closing it, unplugging your computer. You have goddamn options. Go watch someone else. It's not me trying to drive people. It's not me trying to insult people. I'm just saying I'm gonna be beat. And if you don't want me, that's perfectly fine. What I want me to be me, and this is who I am. You know. God, this is gonna be so heartfelt. Well, I mean, heartfelt from my perspective, and I just to imagine 5 months from now, just putting this out there and then being Oh fuck! I wish I didn't say that. Oh fuck! I wish I didn't pour my heart out. Oh fuck! I wish I didn't rant. Oh fuck! I wish I didn't like. I wish I didn't jump the gun. I don't know what people can react like. That's the way that my brain works. Is that I always think too much. Is that I always think like, you know, about things in a negative way. In reality, this is great. You know, this is gonna be great. You know, if it's not great, I'll enjoy myself. I'll figure out my own fun. You know, I don't need anybody else. It'd be nice to have people. It'd be nice to have people run for the ride, but you know, I've been doing it anyways. I'm never gonna stop playing video games. That I stream them, it's up to me, and it's whether people want to watch me that I get watched, and that's perfectly fine. And you know, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, the VOD anyways, and I'm going to pick back up with a different game. I hope you enjoyed Exanima, and I hope you enjoyed me ranting to myself. And I hope anybody watching this in the future thinks, this guy's a bit out of line, but he's interesting. Have a good day. But I will be back with another game. I will be continue to talk to myself. Come join me if you want to listen to me talk to this. Or you can start a conversation with me. You can watch the other VODs. You can tell that I talk to people when they come in the stream. I don't ignore chat. I wouldn't be here if I wanted to ignore people watching me. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this is me signing off. And I never had to end these things, so I just clicked the button.